be starting soon. The other stream is almost done. As soon as this finishes, we'll get started here, folks.
Hello Ottawans and Ottawans from around the globe. Coming at you live and direct from the main streets of suburban Ottawa, it's the one, the only, Ottawa Welshman.
Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. Welcome to ModCon. Let's hear it from people in chat. How is everybody doing? I had the OG intro set up, rip raring, ready to go. I hope you guys like it. It's been quite a while since I've streamed, and that's the OG one Zeely did with me, so this is great. I'm so excited to be here today. We have a ton of great mods, including everyone's favorite, AGOT. I hear it's a little bit quiet. Let me see if I can maybe turn up the old gaineroo here. Hello, hello. Maybe it's better now? Now. All right. Maybe I could even crank that, or I could just scream. That might be better if I just yell the entire time. Well, welcome everybody. We're just about to kick it off. We're on a pretty tight and regimented schedule here today, but welcome. We see we have 200 people on average in the stream. I really am super thankful for everybody here. We want to promote ModCon this year. Really, we've raised an unfathomable amount of money for able gamers. We've had a great and a really healthy donation from Paradox. I think it was in the way of a couple $1,000s, which was amazing. They matched our donations from the previous years, and everybody has been super generous. So thank you guys so much for that. But you know, I know not everybody can support ModCon financially, and we totally understand that. Some people just love great mods, and they're just here for that, and they're here for the sense of community. So you know what? If you can help out for free, just like the stream, subscribe to the channel, be all, put a W in chat. Let's go, people, and we'll get started pretty soon. It's almost 3 p.m. Eastern time. But I guess that doesn't really mean much if you're from a different part of the world. Where is everybody from today? I know we have modders from as far as Australia. There's all kinds in Canada, United States, Europe. Here we go. Let's see what the chat's telling us. We got some people from Sweden, South Africa, Italy. Oh my gosh, the chat's going nuts. We got some people from Poland, Texas, Austria, Tampa, Puerto Rico, France, Romania. Wow, Brazil, there's a lot of Brazil, Saudi Arabia. Somebody's from a planet. Oh, Mars, I love it. Well, welcome everybody. So let's do this one thing. Give me 2 seconds here, and let's set the scene. Let's set the old schedule up so we know what we're jumping into, folks. So we're first gonna start off with the intro. That's where we are now. This is like the warm-up, the old teaser. We're gonna go into a little bit of the ModCon, or the Mod Jam. We're gonna touch base there. We're gonna touch base with Zeely, get his overview and summation of part 1 of the ModCon, get a little warm handoff there. Then we're gonna go into AGOT mapping. Now, AGOT mapping is an awesome... Oh, wait, we just got a $10 donation, JPH139. Thank you so much for the able gamers. Lala Lopsy donated 20 bucks. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. So, we'll get back to the dodos in just a second, but we're doing AGOT mapping. Now, this is the nuts and bolts of one specific section of the Game of Thrones mod, the mapping, the terrain. It is really cool, really interesting, but we'll talk about it more in a little bit. Then after that, we have a block of 3 small mod trailer kind of things, and this is really great. We have the arena, an original mod by Castox, and this guy's put so much effort into this mod. It is amazing. So that is one you don't want to miss for sure. Coming up around the 1 hour mark into the stream. Following that, we have Voices of the Court. Now, this is an unreleased mod I'm almost sure you haven't heard of yet, but my days, is it exciting. It's coming out this summer, and you're not going to want to miss that as well. And following that, we have To the Pioneers. Now, I'm not sure how you would describe this one, if it's more of a sketch or a comedy video, but it's really funny. It's an ode to the modders, right? I can imagine everybody watching here is either a modder or a huge fan of modding, right? So this is a great video, kind of tipping the old cap to modders everywhere. Following that, we're going to take a look at the Mod Jam conclusion. What have these guys been working on for three whole days here, and what have they come up with? Last year, it was amazing the stuff they had, and that was instituted into all the different kind of mods and stuff. It was the sorcery one last year, if I recall correctly, and it was a lot of fun to play. Following the Mod Jam playthrough, we got 3 heavy hitters back to back. We got the Oriental Empire, Shogunate, and Crusader Wars, all back to back. Now, these mods are, I can't even imagine how much time and effort has gone into all 3 of these. So, you know, those are those three. And then finally, at the end of the stream, it's going to be the moment you've all been waiting for. The A Game of Thrones mod has a special trailer. Now, I can say I've seen it, and it is phenomenal. It's you're not gonna want to miss it. There's a huge drop you'll never see coming, and yeah, I can't hype it up any more than that. It is the must not miss event of the entire year for mods. So be there or be square. All right, let's take a look at the chat. I've been just droning on and on. Where are we at? We got Beaver Nation, I see, in the chat. Now, I see a lot of comments from Beaver Nation. Big Timberborn fan. Now, I love Timberborn. I've been there. I've been playing a lot of Timberborn, so... yeah, I instantly recognize their comments. Where's everybody else? Oh, hey, everybody. Okay. Everybody wants the Game of Thrones mod release. I see there's some... you know, guessing going on as to what the release is going to be about. But yeah, wow. So, ModCon 3 all concludes today in a very, very special way. So, I think the first thing I'm going to do, now we have a couple minutes before we have to start with the first Game of Thrones section. It's a nice 30 minute video about the mapping and the terrain, and that is awesome. That'll be coming up in a little bit. But first I want to bring in Zeely, if it's okay with you guys, if it's possible. I want to bring him in and say, hey, like let's chat. Tell me how was your stream? What was your favorite part? Because he got to play the blind modding section. So yeah, let's bring him in. I'm just gonna make sure I'm going to the right. So yeah, just bear with me 2 seconds while we bring in Zeely here. And I gotta make sure Discord, perfect. And can I get the Discord window? Man at desk. All right. Oh, there we go. It actually worked. Hello. I just want to make sure people can hear you. There's not some kind of crazy lag. Is it all working fine, everybody? Whoa! Okay, I'm going through the stream here. We had an anonymous donation of 250. I don't know what NOK is. Do you know what that currency is? Oh, can people not hear you? I don't hear Zeely. No. Okay, it's not broken. It's for sure not broken. It's a me problem, I suppose. So Zeely is actually just roasting me in the background and no one can hear him. Okay, hold on. Application capture beta. Disk 2. There we go. Okay, now we got Zeely for sure.
Hello, Ottawans and Ottawans from around the globe.
They definitely heard that for sure.
I'm not sure actually. Oh, there you go.
There you go. That's all you need. So, let me hear your thoughts. Sorry, one more donation. We had 40 sec come in from Mick99, so thank you very much for that. The Able
And
Gamers.
I think the NOK I saw was Norwegian kroners.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, they say I'm a bit loud, maybe. I think you can turn down the...
Turn down Discord.
Probably.
I hear two voices. I also hear two voices, don't worry. Okay, cool. I hope it's a little bit better. I'm sorry, I don't stream very often, only on special occasions like this. So.
It's tough, honestly, with all these with all the settings in OBS, man. Like, it's not easy.
So here's the deal. I wanted to ask you about your time this morning. So what mods did you cover? For anybody that missed it, just joining now, what was your favorite? What was your highlight of the day? Did you enjoy the blind modding session? Tell me all the things, man.
Okay, so we had some great mods in my first half of today's ModCon section. There was a mix of Vicky 3 and Crusader Kings 3, so I think I'm going to choose one of each for each game. It's going to be hard to choose because, you know, I feel bad singling people out, but I have to say the Greece flavor pack, Greece, Byzantium, and Balkans flavor pack for Victoria 3 looks insane. The modder, Alex, who made that, put so much work, research. He said he was reading source material from the 1800s that wasn't even translated into English or Spanish, because he's a Spanish speaker as well. So that's like the amount of detail this guy put into the mod. It's completely crazy. I highly recommend that one to anybody who plays Victoria 3. And then if I had to pick one for Crusader Kings, I might honestly highlight the Italian Wars, which isn't quite out yet, but it looks really interesting. And they are actually looking for some help from potential modders. So if you're a modder who has some time on your plate and wants to help with a really interesting Crusader Kings 3 mod, I recommend that one.
Wow. So I find that super interesting, like the research that goes into it. I think you even heard Cyberx Khan talking about it towards the end of your stream as well, like the research they normally put into it. And I think that the heavy hitters today for my section of ModCon, they do insane research. The Asian mods, I'll call them, I'll group them together a little bit. The amount of research and historical, I'm canceled. I've been canceled for a long time. But the amount of historical work they've put in is just unparalleled, I think. So
that's what really blows my mind, is like these guys are coding to make these mods work in the game, but then they're also doing all of this historical research, because it's not just like any game, it's a historical game that you need to do, so it has to be accurate historically first and foremost. So my hat goes out, I take my hat off to all of the modders from these 3 days of ModCon.
You know what? It's a celebration of the modders. It's really their time to shine, and I'm so glad we're doing it. So. I'm just trying to grab somebody from the ModCon team, or the Mod Jam team, to just meet me and shoot the breeze, as they say.
Okay. Roxy, don't roast me. I'm dyslexic. I'm excited for AGOT as well. I'm not gonna lie. It is always the most hyped mod, and I don't think they're gonna disappoint, guys. Just keep being excited for it.
All right, so yeah, we're just trying to grab somebody from that. I'm sorry, I'm just talking. I'm nervous, I guess. I suppose.
That's okay. It's only natural.
And we're also going to be giving away some keys too. Oh, this is we're also going to be giving away some keys too today, so be sure to stick around for that.
Keep an eye out, Ottawa, for this guy named Wrench and Roxy, because they got pretty unlucky on the rolls for my keys, so they're itching to get their hand on a key in your stream.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm also excited to see your Mod Jam playthrough, because the blind modding was a lot of fun. For those of you who don't know, the 5...
Oh, I just cut him off. Hold on. Sorry,
Oh, you just hang up on me?
I did. Sorry, tell me about the blind modding. I apologize.
So they worked for 2 hours each on making a mod, all during the time ModCon was on, actually. So it was super impressive to get to play that. But the Mod Jam has a lot more put together, so I can assume that it's going to be really, really fun to play. I had fun playing my blind mod, but the Mod Jam must be even better.
Okay, well then, without further ado, I'll let you go. Thank you again for your contribution. Yeah, I know. It's a good segue.
Okay.
So I'll
Good to
let you
hear
go.
from
Thank you
you.
so much for this morning. It was a pleasure to watch. Thank you for coming on and shooting the breeze with me. And we'll talk very
Right.
soon, my friend.
Okay, have
All
fun,
right.
guys.
See
Bye.
ya.
Ciao.
Bye.
It's just again.
Hello, my friends. Sorry about that.
No
No
worries.
worries.
So, catch me up here. So if somebody's just watching ModCon for the first time today, they're just joining the stream, can somebody give me a TLDR on the, the whole Mod Jam, what's going to be happening, what the theme is, how the vote went down, everything. Can somebody help me out with that?
Okay. So the vote was for the blind modding event. So there were two different events where we are
okay.
going to basically crunch a mod together in as little time as possible. And the blind modding event that was on Zili stream, but this is the Mod Jam, so it is slightly more coordination between the people. We can actually talk to each other, which is a big benefit. And we also selected the theme a bit more in advance. We are all aware of it. And we had together basically the whole weekend, so 3 days for the 6 of us in the end to make something together. And the theme was music.
Music, all right. So, what are you kind of excited? Can you give me a little teaser of what you've been working on? What are you really excited about? What are you kind of you think people will enjoy out of this mod?
I have contributed only a little bit. I think I can better let East Point do the talking because he made the biggest part of it, the biggest activity that's part of this mod.
Okay. Yeah. So I would say like you could break it into 2 parts. I mean, if you're role playing as a lord who wants to be a musician, you got to first get the musician trait. So we have like a private performance / practice activity where you gain the skills to be a musician and earn the trait. I don't know if we just call it lifestyle music, but it has a specific name. And then once you have the trait, now's the time to go put on a show. So you can travel the lands. There is a diplomacy range limit, so you can't go across the earth, but you can go pretty far. Travel to other courts and put on a show, earn gold, make friends. It's pretty much the equivalent of being like a medieval rock star is kind of how I've been going with it. Random events, stuff like that. I don't know if you saw we tagged you in our chat to maybe share some of the screenshots.
Oh yeah, they're great. Would you like me to share them now, the little teasers, or how do we figure it out? Okay, bear with me 2 seconds. I'll share the old screen and we'll get it going. Okay, so here is the old Discord server. This is a little dangerous here, actually, but
there we go.
So here we have the private performance. I guess this is a decision, right, or an activity, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
There's 2 activities, and as mentioned, this is like a smaller one. This is what you can do to get the trait, or to just level up your trait a little bit if you don't want to do the big activity.
Okay, interesting. And then there's another one here, right? So that's the first one, and then here's the second one, outside the courtyard. So this is a big activity, right?
So just to clarify, that is the same activity. So
that's
like,
the same one. I'm lost.
You know how like when you do an activity, like say a hunt, right? You have like the legendary hunt, So these are the different private concerts that you can have in your holding for like the people in your holding, essentially.
Oh, very cool.
But we did that, so this is basically at your own home. So we did one other thing that I added was a court amenity for basically how many musicians are living in your court, how many are filling up the ambience. You want to have somebody playing the lute while you are going berating your vessels for displeasing you or not paying enough taxes. So that also ties in back to this one, because if you have a lot of background musicians, then they will accompany you if you're throwing a private level concert, so that will upgrade the prestige bonuses you get from the little activity. But they don't go on a world tour with you. But that is one tie-in we did make.
Wow. Man, this is really exciting. I'm kind of hyped to play it. So we'll be playing it a little bit later today. I don't have the schedule up right now, but yeah. Music practice. Wow.
Yeah, so you practice a bit, you gain your skills, you earn your life, the trait, and that you obviously progress the tracks to get bigger bonuses on the trait. And then if you like click in the other group of photos or keep scrolling through this one, I think you might show that. So like the second is not even unlocked until you have the lifestyle trait to support it. So you need to first.
Oh,
These are a bit, but this is the. Basically, if you manage to do your world tour and you do a good enough job, you can earn a new type of legend seed. This is like a herb. I don't really have a good name for it yet. I think it's just a minstrel legend seed. Because you did such a job, you've rocked the entire world, and now everybody wants to talk about how good your performance was. If you do manage to fully do the legend seed, fully spread it to the highest level, and cash it in, you'll also earn David's harp as a final finale prize for being the best musician on the planet.
And I'm assuming that the harp is super overpowered, like it's a really great artifact, or what?
It's actually base game.
Okay.
It is pretty good. It's like, I think it just gives a ton of like attraction bonuses and stuff like that. And it's a chord artifact.
Nice.
Everybody loves musicians. I mean, it is fun that I think music has been a recurring theme in this ModCon. I mean, it all started when Stick was singing the final countdown on the Kara show.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
It's been in my head. Yeah, so if you actually go back one, that was the new event. It's the world tour, and shows some of the new prizes you can get, like gold, friends, secrets, lovers, legitimacy. Like, you're pretty much going on an adventure to other courts and running into all kinds of random events. And there's also some new modifiers you can get there if you do manage to like reach the higher levels of the activity.
Very cool. Well, I'm kind of hyped to play this, to be honest with you.
Oh, there's also, I just uploaded another screenshot. One of the other folks involved, they also did a new interaction you can have with your children to force them to learn music.
Wow.
Yeah.
You will play the violin.
So this is kind of like a way to get that trait early on if you don't want to go through, or you don't want to, do the performance activity later. So this is one way to get the trait.
Interesting. So it's not only integrating it in terms of activities and tours, but it's giving you bonuses on other aspects of the game. This is really like it's got its figures in a lot of, it's got its I don't know.
Figures in a lot of pies.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Like, it touches a lot of aspects of the game, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, because it's like we have several modders working on it, so I think it's that we all have different ideas on what we wanted to do with the theme. So we just kind of just did our own thing and kind of made sure it kind of worked together.
Yeah, as opposed to the blind modding session, right?
Oh yeah, blind modding was. I think I'm the only one that was involved in both. Blind modding was very, very chaotic. Even if I was only the first person to do it and pass on to others, it was just very, very chaotic. Whereas this one, we had a lot more time to think it over and also discuss what we wanted to add or not to add and how to do things.
It feels. I think the amazing part is that you do get people with very different skill sets together. That is basically a lot of mods. When a lot of mod teams are really starving for team members. I mean, everybody wants 3D modders, of course. Everybody wants artists. But a lot of modders are better at certain skills than other skills, and so you'll get some mods are basically one-sided and just lacking in one part. But now the mod jam throws people together who would normally never form a team, because we all have our own ideas, we all have our own pet projects. And if you just put 6 people together and force them to produce something, we're in the jank minds, we're being a slave to make a music mod, you get something awesome. And that is what I love about ModCon. I mean, it is producing it's producing very cursed mods, but also very brilliant mods.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm a newer modder. I've only been maybe modding for about 6 months now, and I'm working with some real legends here. I did Elf Destiny with just like AI and scraps. So like working here with Rice and, you know, Tyrannus, what is he, community? I forgot what the name of the pack is, but one of the best 3D modelers in the industry, you know. So it's really exciting.
Wow. Well, it's a lot for us to look forward to in just an hour or two. So I hope we'll be able to talk to you again when we fire that bad boy up then. And we'll look at every different aspect that was added. So thank you guys so much for joining, and we'll kind of jump back into the next section.
Yeah, look forward to it.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So that was the Mod Jam conversation we had. We're just going over it. So these guys have been working on this for 3 days. We got some newer guys. We got some of the best guys in the industry making this mod over 3 days. The theme is music, and they're integrating it in kind of every aspect of Crusader Kings to try and make it as ubiquitous as possible. Very, very exciting stuff. So a couple donos while I was talking to them. We got Buck with the 50 pounds, which is huge, dude. So thank you so much for Able Gamers, the charity this year. Same thing with Anton. Thank you so much, Anton. Longtime fan of the channel. He actually appears in a video. You can catch Anton's face in the background of a video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for the donations to ModCon. So, to Able Gamers, rather. So let me do a little bit of housekeeping here. I had to add some things to my OBS to make things work and be able to talk to people. But I think that should be good. So we are almost ready to start with our first section. So we know we have 2 AGOT sections today, the first of which is coming in 6 short minutes. Now, Game of Thrones, everybody's highly anticipated mod for this day of ModCon. And yeah, the first portion of it is going to be the first portion of Game of Thrones today at ModCon, rather, is going to be all about map painting and terrains, you know? So there's 2 kinds of CK3 gamer, if you ask me. You can categorize any CK3 gamer into one of 2 groups. You get your role players. So those are people that are going in to have a good time. They love the lore. They love what's going on. They love interacting with the other characters and the backstory and the art. And then you have your map painters, your min-maxers, your guys looking for those exploits. So I think I tend to fall under that category. Personally, that's what I enjoy more. But the map painters will like this one as well. It's literally painting the map. So if you've played the Game of Thrones mod, they have wonderful terrain, and I'll pull up some footage of this in a bit, but they have this wonderful mountainous regions and 3D art with these beautiful, like the wall, for example, the northern wall there. You can see the wall and the terrain. It would just not look as good if you didn't have those rolling mountains in the back with the well-painted terrain. So very, very exciting. This next little section we'll be talking about with them. We can almost even hop into it a little bit early because there's going to be lots to talk about after. So we got another 2 minutes, and we'll fire that bad boy up for the Game of Thrones. How's everybody doing in the chat? Let's take a look and monitor the chat for a moment. What this button do? It's a lot of Game of Thrones hype. Ottawa, can you please inquire about how they feel about cultural traditions that prohibit one another? Yeah, that would be a really good, that's a really good idea. Cultural traditions that inhibit one another. How do modders feel about that? Is it hard to work around? There's a ton of modders in chat, so they'd be able to tell you. I noticed we got 400 people watching right now. I think that's a first for me at ModCon, personally. And I know we're on the channel here. We're really pushing to support Able Gamers, the charity today, and not everybody can support financially. Totally understand that. But if you wouldn't mind, give the stream a like, put a little comment in the bottom. I love ModCon or something. Give me something down there. And if you can subscribe, I'm on my way to 100,000, and it would mean the absolute world to me if everybody watching can subscribe. You can unsubscribe in 6 months, but as soon as I hit 100K, I'll be a happy boy. So thank you guys for that. Again, we have the map painting section from Game of Thrones coming up. Now, when you play the Game of Thrones mod, you can see there's a well fleshed out section of the map, and then there's a lot of empty space, like soon to come portions of the map as they're building more and more, as they're developing more and more. So, yeah. Without further ado, I think we're ready to finally start the map section here. So thank you everybody for your patience, and let's get into it.
Hello everybody, this is Drandus. I am the head of map design and I am the terrain painter for CK3 AGOT. Today, Fox Willow, our lead developer, and I will be showing our process for designing our map. We're going to go from cradle to grave, from start to finish. So we are going to look at a very specific region. We're going to talk about that process of what we go through when we design a region from scratch, and work all the way to a final completed product. So the region we're going to look at is Braavos, and particularly mainland Braavos. That region is highly anticipated by many people, and we're very excited to share that process of how we brought it to life. What we did in this particular region was we focused in on, and we do this for every region, we try to explain what we understand as being the canon description, and sometimes we have a description, sometimes we don't, but we take what we have and we try to flesh it out to provide a logical underpinning to that description and use that as a way to bring about terrain ideas. There's a lot of map to cover, and not much of it is actually described in first-person accounts or even in, canon, lore books or canon descriptions. So in other words, we have a lot of work to do to make areas come to life and make them interesting. And in the case of the mainland area of Braavos, so this is the region just south of Braavos proper, we didn't have much to work on. But what we did have is we know that Braavos is located on a series of islands in a lagoon, and so we used that as a jumping off point. The question that I particularly had was, why is Braavos on a lagoon? What formed this lagoon? And while there are many ways that lagoons can form, coral reefs being one, a lot of those reasons didn't make a lot of sense at the latitude that Braavos is within the world. But one thing that did come up time and time again that could be a reasonable formative phenomenon for the Braavosi Lagoon is volcanic activity, volcanism, right? The idea that in the past there was a volcano here. And so we took that and we ran with it. Particularly, in my personal and professional background, I was interested in, could we bring about a few volcanic features to this region to highlight this potential explanation? So what we did is we went with the concept of calderas. We said, okay, if we were to say implement some calderas, there's technically already at least one caldera on our map in the Valley of Then, but can we implement some new calderas here? That's not necessarily a novel concept. And how can we implement that? And we actually took some real world examples of calderas and used that to design it. So with that being said, I'm going to hand this over to Fox Willow. Fox is going to go through, he's going to explain the height map component. How do we make a topographic representation of what we need to do. Once the height map piece is done, he's going to hand it back to me, and we're going to go over the map painting and bringing the topography to life.
Hey, I'm Fox Willow. I'm the project lead here at CK3 AGOT, and one of my personal areas of focus is the map, where Drandis and I work closely together. We'll be showing off the process we go through on a small part of Essos, just the Hills of Bravos, which is an upcoming kingdom our players are looking forward to. Drandis probably went over why he wants to do a caldera in this area, and while a caldera wouldn't necessarily or really be an incredibly rare or over-the-top geographic feature, it's kind of cool and special, and in this case it helps bring in his knowledge and contribution to how we plan to bring about a well-rounded and interesting Essos. It's worth mentioning here that our first guiding principle when we brainstorm a living map like this is the answer to the question, would we have heard about this? That we mean, is this, whatever the feature we're discussing is it remotely notable enough for a feature or in an area that we would have to be on it would have to be on a canon map, or it would have had to been mentioned in the stories or in worlds? If we think so, we just don't do it. We don't want to be pushing things that would, for example, be prone to mess up the mental Westeros a bunch of our players would have. This would be to really extreme thing would be is there a volcano in the marches, in the Dornish marches? We're not going to do that because that would absolutely have been in, well, very, very close to absolutely have been in some material somewhere. So we're just not going to do something like that. So that's the guiding principle for all of our brainstorming and discussions. In Essos, would we have heard about this is often no. The lands maps are the main thing that we utilize, and there's just big chunks of land with almost nothing going on, or just vast swaths of complete blank, what would be considered plains, but there's no way it's actually just plains for thousands of miles. So in Essos, would we have heard about this is often no. This means we can bring back some of the Westeros ideas that we decided against for the same reason, or we continue to expand on Drandis' reasoning on the few features in Essos that we do have good descriptions of. Again, a caldera, technically in this case too, wouldn't necessarily throw up red flags somewhere else, and they especially don't in the Hills of Bravos. So as a geographic feature, it's a good example of something we can feel confident deepens the world, but it's not at all something so unique or distracting that would have to have been mentioned in canon material. So that's our primary brainstorming rule. Then comes the actual work. For me, my side, what I bring to this table here with our partnership is I craft the rivers and the height map so that Drandis can paint the terrain. Our biggest rule from this point is influenced by what we observe in the real world, which is over time, water beats the soils or stone that it flows through. Therefore, it carves our landscapes. So one of the first things we do is cover the map not only in the relatively few mapped canon rivers, but we'll add rivers, and then we also expand the canon ones with tributaries to create full watersheds. And what this winds up doing is we know exactly where water would drain to from every pixel of our map. So I place these rivers starting with the river origins and make sure that they always flow downhill until they drain into a body of water. So to slightly oversimplify the entire process, I make sure we have these complete watersheds. I'll duplicate that layer in Photoshop, and I'll make a layer with the correctly flowing rivers. I'll expand or blend them outwards into each other. and as they expend away from the river, we lighten them, which makes them higher, and then they'll collide with the expansions from other rivers. Rudimentary basic thing this ends up with, without any touch-ups, is that you get like a mound between the rivers where you obviously tell where the water's going to fall. Any water that falls between those rivers is definitely going to go to one or the other. While doing all that, we try and keep, the plans that Drandis and I make in mind, along with anyone else on the team that has contributed to these kind of world building and map brainstorming discussions. And then also just like letting mistakes or errant brush strokes just kind of wind up contributing to the canvas. And Drandis will pull off the painting once it gets on to him. So long and short, really, on my end, is that just having done this for a long time, having a great partner in Drandis, letting the flow of water guide us, has led to a map that even I still find engaging every time I zoom in. I love the process in Essos so far, and I'm looking forward to bringing in more and more.
All right, so now that we have our height map, let's take a look at the terrain painting. There's a few principles I want to outline first and foremost for our map. One of them, and this is a particularly important point for me, is, and if we zoom out from Bravos for a moment, we will see that terrain on our map, as far as I'm concerned, needs to blend, needs to logically connect with, there needs to be a reason why and how it fits with its surrounding terrain. In other words, there should not be any place on our map that feels so disjointed that there isn't a flow visually between it and the next region, and there needs to be a reason why these regions are different, right? Usually we explain that through the topography. So I mention that because as we go back to Bravos, we're going to see that we have a region that has to also connect with Andalos to the south, but it is also distinctively different in that it is a peninsula, it juts out into an ocean. We know that there's fogs and precipitation going on, at least in the lagoon, and so we're going to be working through that process of how to make it blend. The first step to that process that I take is I do what I call blocking it out. I block out the map, usually with an eye for aridity, or how much rainfall, how much precipitation, how wet a region is versus how dry it is. And I'll block it out, and that gives me at least a logical underpinning. So here I'm going to be focusing on a higher and drier, you can look at it from an angle, a higher and drier central region that's shielded in many ways from the drenching rains that hit the coast by a series of hills. And so what we'll get in the end is a series of kind of drier grassland valleys ringed by treed mountains, and then in turn ringed by a pretty wet coast that gets a lot of precipitation. And then that valley, that series of valleys, all, by the way, formed by volcanic activity and terminating in a series of calderas, will flow flow north, I should say, to the Laguna Bravo, so along these rivers here. So here we have a small area to show a bit of the blocking process. I'm going to be taking a look, and ignore the region around it. Obviously, I've already gone ahead and blocked some of it. But we're going to be looking at the topography of this area really quickly. The point is that this isn't precise. This is really all about just getting an understanding. Even the textures I'm going to be using, I use them on a scale of green to brown just to indicate how wet or dry a region is. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be using different textures to actually paint. So immediately right out of the gate, I want this ridge to be forming the rain shadow that we're going to see in other areas. Specifically, what I mean by that is I want this ridge to block rain or cause precipitation, or wring rain out of, say, the clouds that come off the ocean. So here we have the coast. I'll go like this. Here we have the coast. So I'm going to paint this. This is going to be receiving quite a bit of rain. Likewise, here, there's nothing preventing the rains coming off the sea. And here, this island likewise is going to get quite a bit of rain here. And we're going to take this up a bit, but again, there's this higher ridge that's preventing rain from getting more upstream into this valley. So we're going to paint it like that. So now we have our more or greater precipitation in this area. So now I'm going to move up a bit to a new texture that's a little less green. It's just to demonstrate for myself later. And here we're going to see that the mountains, this ridge, it's more like hills, but that this ridge is going to be getting a decent amount of rain still, right? It's still, clouds are going to hit it, they're going to rise, they're going to cause rain along the coast, but they're also going to prevent a certain degree of moisture getting into the valley. So here we have a bit of that coming in. The rain is generally coming in this direction. So we're going to, likewise here, it's going to sweep across this lower flat coastal plain and hit these. Okay, so now we've blocked out a higher precipitation. Now let's go in and we're going to do a drier even still. And this is going to be the valley in here. So if we look at it, we have some grassland that's going to be in here. And this can be subject to change. This isn't set in stone. It's just a guide for me later. Come in there, there, and there. And likewise, I might decide down the road that some of this more interior space. But then I'm going to come in here and there. These are areas that are not necessarily getting as much rain. So now we can see that area is done. And we can actually see the blocking of the whole region pretty much. Again, this is just a rough draft, and I'm going to polish it in the actual terrain painting, which is next. To a large extent, terrain painting, the process of putting textures and assets on a map to make it real, it is a really subjective one. I mean, it is, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's artistic, but it's certainly something in which you're exercising your creativity, you're exercising your experience with it. And at the end of the day, everyone's going to do it differently. So while, I can talk about, and I will talk about some of the tips and the tricks and the things that I do, or, advice that I would give, at the end of the day, it just comes down to practice and experience with the textures that you have, the assets that you have. And there is going to be a degree to which what I do is simply a product of my own style, right? Rather than something that's objectively good or bad to do. But there are some things that we can talk about that I think are helpful. Some kind of core things I'm always looking to do when I'm terrain painting. And one of those, we'll just kind of kick it off, is I'm always looking at the map with an eye for continuity and consistency. I like to zoom out on my map from time to time and check, is the region that I'm working on consistent? Does it flow well with the other regions while being distinctive? Another really kind of important, much more, myopic or specific thing that I'm always trying to do is I am looking to make sure that there are certain things, certain style decisions that I make that are consistent throughout, so we have a kind of a similar design language. One of those things, and it's pretty simple, but it's the idea of how do we treat trees. I find that it's easier and it creates a better product in the end if I place forests first and then remove the trees where I don't want them to be. Rather than so it's a subtractive rather than an additive process. I place everything and then I remove them. So does this ridge have trees on it? No. If the answer is no, likely I will be placing trees over everything and removing trees from the ridge rather than specifically placing them. I find that this mimics the natural processes because trees don't select where they grow where they can and don't grow where they can't. In other words, if you just place a bunch of trees and remove them, you're more closely representing a natural process, so it ends up looking more natural. And that's actually a really good point that I'll just kind of bring up here, which is that, when I can, I'm thinking about how does nature work? And that can even inform things like, say, my design process. Another pretty important principle, and this one is really easy to follow, is know your textures. And where you can, never have two textures next to each other without a third one serving to blend them. When I'm going through, we have a lot of textures at our disposal, and I'm always making sure that I am blending those textures with a third texture. There should never be hard lines that can happen in nature, but at the end of the day, it would look jarring and it would look odd. And if we are going to do that, it has to be for a specific reason. So generally, I'm just blending. I'm looking at the alphas for textures, right? How do textures blend? Different textures blend differently. Some textures have really great alphas to use. I have a few grass textures that I use all the time because I find that their alphas work really, really well with a lot of other textures to create a really subtle blending. And that blending also doesn't just happen where two textures meet. I rarely have a single texture on the map in one place. If you were to use the texture identifier there, you would see that there's probably 3 or 4 different textures that create the overall look. It cuts down on the repetition that these textures tend to have, because right at the end of the day, they're just a 2D file that we're applying to a 3D world. And if you don't blend it, it can look very repetitive. You can get that tiling effect that you don't want on your map. So we're blending very carefully. Obviously, that's a really brief few examples of things that we're considering when we're painting. There's no video of this length that could capture all of the techniques and tricks and things we do over the 2,500 hours that I've painted this map. With that being said, I want to leave you with a time lapse of the map being painted. I think that it is useful for just kind of seeing the flow, and frankly, I just think it's a pretty cool thing to see. So thank you for listening. Thank you for enjoying our map with us, and we'll see you in Essos.
just wow. What else is there to say than just wow? Was that not a phenomenal panel on the terrain? Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. There are role players and there are map painters, and these guys know how to paint some maps. It was really, I think Draenus and Fox Willow should be really proud of what they produced there. It was a super exciting section for me specifically, because I don't know anything about that, right? When you're like just a pleb like me that doesn't know anything about the modding community, that's like super deep into it, right? I don't think about the terrain that's added. I don't think about the map. I think about, okay, some game mechanics. I think about, okay, what's flashy? What's the art that really just captivates you? You don't think about the integral parts, all these different teams that need to work together and come together to produce something absolutely phenomenal. So I think the guys should be super proud of the map that they have in a Game of Thrones mod, and the attention to detail they put in, just like things you wouldn't think of as a normal player. And the fact that the terrain kind of plays so well with the 3D art. Again, I have to go back to the wall and things like that, the cities and whatnot, like that just play so nicely with the terrain. The terrain flows in so smoothly, and I don't want to be a little Minecraft boy here, but the biomes flow so nicely together. It's not jagged, it's not rigid, it's beautiful. And then when you add in the cloud cover and the little animations on the trees, it's just beautiful. So a couple great things from that last section. A lot of really funny, I was reading the chat as we were going, a lot of really funny comments. Some people were saying 14 hours of work in 4 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it was. Somebody put like 4 billion trees in 5 minutes. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. And the spamming of the trees in chat, you guys are I love the support in that very positive manner, so thank you guys. But that really is great, and I think we should give the lads a couple more trees. The other one that really killed me was somebody put, I think it was somebody put, it's not set in stone, it's just painted in it, and I thought that was hilarious also. Then there was a part where Fox Willow was talking about, you have to follow the flow of the water. It reminded me of those old survival shows, where you fall, you get lost and you're in a survival situation. You just follow the water. They'll take you to your local tribe your local tribe who will get you to your helicopter evacuation point. And that's kind of where we are now, I think, our helicopter evacuation point as we leave this ModCon panel section for a Game of Thrones and move on to the next block. So coming up in this hour, we have 3 massive sections. So hold on, let me see if I can get my schedule here. I don't know, I didn't plan this out properly, but let me get my schedule here just so we can all see it and kind of appreciate it here for a moment. So we've done the intro, we talked to the lads about Mod Jam. Now we've had our Game of Thrones mapping segment, and was it not so interesting, guys? Whoa, Ryan comes in with $100 dodo, you crazy man. Thank you guys so much for supporting the charity this year, Able Gamers. Thank you, Ryan. Also, Sek with the 50 euros while we were out on break. Thank you. Sorry, not Sek. Harm, the organizer. But we're gonna talk to Harm a little bit later. He's a good lad. So thank you guys so much, Ryan and Harm. But yeah, so it's going really well. We've gotten through the Game of Thrones mapping. We're now in to the arena section, the voices of the court, and to the pioneers. So great section coming up. And I guess we're gonna kick it off with Castoc's mod here. Now, let me close this. Now, those of you who know Castoc's was a major part of ModCon 2, and we raised thousands of dollars last year, and it was an incredibly successful event. Castoc's held all kinds of meetings, got everybody organized, a lot of work on his part. But what I will say about Castox is he's a guy that takes modding in Crusader Kings and what you think of modding in Crusader Kings, grabs it and throws it completely out the window. The things he does with the Crusader Kings scripting language and engine itself, I guess if that's what you would call it, the things he cooks up in his brain and gets ready, whew, it's unbelievable. They're like nothing you've ever seen. Last year, the mod we showed from him was the Tavern of Sin. Now, that was a really fun one. It was interesting. I think Castox, personally, is one of the GOATs at the 3D modeling when it comes to Paradox games. I think he does things that people at Paradox wish they could do, to be 100% honest. And he does it all on a crunch, if I'm being completely honest again with you. I don't know why I'm saying honest so much. Yo, Lord R with the dodo, CHF. Thank you so much for 50 of those bad boys. Much appreciated. We're doing really well here today. Yeah, we have 297 likes on the stream, but we got quite a few people. We got 400 people watching. If you haven't liked the stream, please hit that like button. Helps us out. Go leave a comment. It would be awesome. It just helps us out. Helps us promote ModCon, helps us promote the charity. Even next year, we're gonna get more and more things based on the success of this year. So thank you guys so much for all those likes and everything. Tuka donated $101. They gotta be precise rather. 101. Beautiful. Thank you, Tuka, showing up Ryan. I can't wait till the $102 dono rolls in sometime soon. But you guys are being great today. Thank you so much for all the donos. So let's get back to Castox. Now, this guy works so incredibly hard on modding. He's helped me out. He's one of the guys that, you know, when I needed some assets built, I reached out to a colleague of mine for the 3D help, and he was a great help, and maybe we can have him on if he's in the chat here. Ascalon, I don't know if he's watching today, but he helped me out with some of the 3D modeling for my little mod that I'm putting out, and Castox helps me just kind of push it across the line, make sure it gets integrated with other things. The guy is amazing. He really, truly a talented modder, and he's come up with this one called The Arena. Now, lads and lasses and everybody in between and on the other ends of those, Ryan donated $2. Ryan's up to 103. You guys, you can't make this up. Ryan, oh my god, we're starting a war here. But guys, what do you guys think the arena is about, just on the first glance? Can I get in chat, what are you guys thinking is coming up with the arena? I must be super delayed because everybody's going nuts over the Ryan fight still. Ryan and Tuka. So the arena mod is all about duels, fighting. Yeah, that's exactly what you get right off rip. And it's kind of like having, you know, Ryan and Tuka in there, donating $1 more than each other. Yeah, so it's all about fighting, but it's not in the way you would think. In my videos, I like to use a lot of the 3D animations. I love that. I use Agami's Better Barbershop, and it's a lot of fun. And I think Castox just takes it to another level with his Tuka with a $49 dono. Oh my days. Lads, we're raising a lot of money for charity here. That's great on ya. So, without any further ado, I'm going to introduce Castox's mod, The Arena, which he's been toiling over. And this trailer is really something special. They got a special narrator on it, so just keep a keen ear out for the narrator. And what a wonderful trailer and description we have coming up for The Arena.
In the realm of kings and conquests, a new challenge arises. Welcome, noble lords and ladies, to the arena, where valor and strategy collide in the ultimate test of supremacy. As the sun rises over the kingdom, the air is filled with the sounds of clashing steel and roaring crowds. The arena opens its gates, beckoning the brave to step forth and claim glory. The herald announces the first contest as warriors from across the lands take their positions. The ground trembles under the weight of expectation, and the battle for honor begins. With a final, decisive blow, the crowd erupts in cheers, for they have witnessed greatness. The victor's name shall be etched in history, a testament to their prowess. Alas, not all tales are of triumph. For some, the arena is a cruel mistress, and defeat is a bitter potion to swallow. But fear not, for redemption awaits those who dare to rise again. As the stars claim the sky, the arena's fires dim. But the tales of this day will burn eternal in the hearts of those who witnessed the spectacle. Until the morrow, when the arena calls once more. Welcome to the arena, where the brave and ambitious come to test their mettle against waves of foes in pursuit of fame, fortune, and eternal glory. This mod for Crusader Kings introduces an electrifying arena-based combat system that challenges players to switch classes and engage in fierce battles to rise through the ranks. Features: Arena combat mechanics. Dive into the heart of intense combat as you face off against successive waves of enemies. Utilize strategic thinking, quick reflexes, and a variety of combat skills to emerge victorious. Switch classes. Explore a diverse array of combat styles and abilities by switching between classes. Each class offers unique strengths, weaknesses, and specializations, allowing you to adapt your strategy to overcome different challenges. Fame and fortune. Conquer the arena and become a legend. Earn fame and fortune with each victorious battle, gaining recognition and respect from spectators and fellow warriors alike. Dynamic challenges. Encounter a wide array of enemy types, from lowly foot soldiers to fearsome champions, each presenting distinct challenges. Adapt your strategy as you progress through increasingly difficult waves of adversaries. Customization and upgrades. Enhance your chosen class's combat abilities with a variety of upgrades and equipment. Tailor your fighter to suit your preferred playstyle and optimize their performance in the arena. Tournaments and championship. Compete in thrilling tournaments and championships to prove your prowess as the ultimate champion of the arena. Rise through the ranks and claim prestigious titles and rewards. Risk and reward. Embrace the thrill of uncertainty as you weigh the risks and rewards of each battle. Will you play it safe and secure incremental victories, or will you dare to push your limits for greater glory? Introducing the champions of the arena, each bearing unique skills and mastery over their chosen weapons. Sword and shield, masters of defense and offense. These stalwart warriors wield their trusty shields as a bastion against all threats, while their razor-sharp swords cleave through enemies with precision and power. Two-handed sword, commanding immense strength and wielding towering blades. These formidable warriors strike fear into the hearts of their foes with each thunderous swing, cutting down adversaries with unmatched ferocity. Spear and shield, agile and lethal, these warriors dance through the battlefield with grace, their spears piercing through enemy lines with deadly accuracy, while their shields deflect incoming attacks with practiced precision. Archer, from the shadows they strike, their arrows finding their mark with deadly accuracy. Masters of ranged combat, these skilled marksmen rain death upon their enemies from afar, their bows singing with the promise of swift and silent demise. Samurai, honor-bound and disciplined, these noble warriors embody the way of the sword. With unparalleled precision and unwavering resolve, they engage their foes in single combat, their katana blades cutting through opposition with the elegance of a falling cherry blossom. Optional fantasy classes. Vampire, driven by eternal hunger and supernatural prowess, these nocturnal predators stalk the arena with a blend of mesmerizing charm and deadly power. Their fangs and claws strike terror into the hearts of mortals. Dark mage, harnessing forbidden magics and delving into the darkest depths of sorcery. These sinister spellcasters command the very forces of shadow and decay. With curses and hexes, they bring doom upon their foes, weaving spells of death and despair. Wizard, masters of arcane knowledge and wielders of elemental power. These wise scholars shape reality itself with their incantations. They manipulate the very fabric of existence to bend the arena to their will. Are you ready to step into the arena and carve your name into the annals of history? Prepare for the ultimate test of skill, courage, and determination, where only the strongest survive and the bravest thrive. Welcome to the arena.
Wow, that was insane. So I have, unfortunately, guys, I am at fault. I am at fault. Okay, a couple of things. One, the arena, at the end, there's a lovely section, disclaimer, and a thank you section. Okay, and I'll pull it up now. Castox has to thank a couple people for all his help, and I closed it too early because I was a little bit nervous. Second off, this wasn't even the best trailer. Castox sent me two versions, and I accidentally picked the rough draft version. So there's an even better version than this, and I'll have to send you the link to it. The arena, I think this is the in-game credits. We'll get you the link. Harm, maybe we can post it or pin it, because that is unbelievable. Like I've mentioned, Castox takes the game itself, bundles it up, and the idea, all your preconceived notions of what modding is, throws it out the window and just does something phenomenal. I think there was, when you hear the arena, you think, okay, duels. And what's duels in the base game? It's a couple of decisions, right? No. Castox builds a full arena, completely controllable using the Paradox scripting language. Adds all kinds of custom animations. This guy, absolutely absolutely unreal. And we will address all the donos and everybody going off in the chat. It's being super well received. But I'd like to talk to Castox, and I'd like to get his proper trailer up. But just one moment, bear with me 2 seconds before. And my most sincere apologies to Castox about that. I thought I had the most recent version, but apparently not. So in his special thanks, he thanks Tobson for answering his questions about about modding and things that are needed for help and getting him into WOK. The next, he thanks Null for helping early on in his journey, Spark for all his motivational pep talks and keeping him on track during this monumental effort, which I also have to say, this was completed in 30 days. Can you believe that mod was built in 30 days by one guy? Unbelievable. He thanks his girlfriend Karen for her unwavering support during the 30-day development journey, sacrificing hours together after work each day to finally finish it. So those are the thanks he has. He also has a small disclaimer that the Arena mod is a fan creation, all rights reserved, Paradox, blah, blah, blah. But man, Castox, goated modder. Let me get him in the chat here. I'm sure you guys are going to want to hear from him. Hopefully you guys can hear him. There we go. It's ringing. Castox, buddy, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going? Let me, Are you good? Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine, man. I'm so sorry I didn't even get you the proper version of the trailer, but I think people were blown away nonetheless.
Yeah, I put it together at the last minute. I had a lot of placeholder stuff, graphics, and overall interface things that I needed to change on there. But yeah, I mean, I got it done in the end. But yeah, I submitted it. It's just quite a few things that probably would have, but that's fine. No issues. I was planning on perhaps posting the beta version after ModCon on my channel as well. So, I mean, it'll be there.
So, yeah, okay. So we'll make sure, I think we're going to take a little intermission in a little bit. Make sure that we have the appropriate version. We might even replay the new version on stream or something to that effect, because I think you need a lot of credit for that. Everybody was just absolutely blown away with what you were able to produce, man. And yeah, I can't sing your praises enough. Is there a section you're super happy about, or is there anything you wanted to say about it specifically?
I mean, the tournament stuff is not included. I think that was part of the beta stuff. I did the tournament stuff this last week. I actually started it on Sunday, and I think I finished it on Wednesday. That stuff was pretty hard to do. I mean, aside from that, I mean, nothing big, nothing major. But yeah, it was quite a journey. I do want to mention that for the people who don't follow my channel and don't see my posts or whatever, that my laptop, actually, I just moved. I changed jobs and moved states, and the first week that I am in my new house, the power fries my entire laptop and my SSD, my whole motherboard, and I lost a lot of stuff. So since then, it's been kind of hard to kind of get back into modding, because
oh, we lost them.
And the stuff that I did keep, was stuff that thank God, I'm going to say this, OneDrive just backed up some of my documents, but I only had that free 5 gigabyte thing, and so they backed up 5 gigabytes. Thank God I had at least that. But yeah, that's where I'm at. After that, it was pretty hard, and I'm thinking, I wanted to go forward, but I couldn't bring myself to start back from a year back on Tavern of Sin. So I said, I gotta give these people something. I gotta give these people one thing, before I'm done. And I was just like, yeah, I gotta do the duel thing. And it turned from simple duels to I was going to do a tower-based dungeon crawler, and to finally I told Harm on those early days of the ModCon thing, I said, you know what, I'm gonna do the arena, and I said I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna have it finished, and it's finished. So for the most part, I just need beta testers. So when it releases, I just gotta tighten up the screws on the tournament, but it's done. And sorry if I'm rambling.
No, dude, this is great. It's so wonderful. So can I get an F in the chat to pay respect for the old laptop? Because you came out, man. You came out after something bad happens to you. You picked yourself up and you produced a work that I think everybody is just so amazed with. So really, congratulations. You got to pat yourself on the back for that one. And again, my most sincere apologies about not using the right version of the video with even more stuff added to it.
It's all good. It really just showed off the tournament system, and in there you kind of just see wooden planks, and but now there's a whole tournament system involved where you go through and it simulates to your turn, and then you can fight or sim it, and there's prizes. But yeah, I mean it was a great trailer when I wrapped it up. I didn't want to submit it right away until it was finished, but I knew the deadlines were there, and so I just submitted what I had. But yeah, I know. What are you gonna do?
When is the release date?
So I don't know. I was looking at the chat, and I was looking at where we at, and I don't know. Maybe we'll find a good. Maybe if we start busting goals, I'll just release it.
I love that, man. I love that. I think that's a great idea. So, okay, well, I'll let you go. We'll keep in touch. I think later today we'll either redisplay the proper trailer, or we'll make sure we're linking to it, or something to that effect. Because I think you deserve all the work. You put so much work into it. You deserve all the praise for it. So thanks again, man. I really appreciate everything.
Oh, one thing I wanted to mention. So this mod, it was. Am I still on?
Yeah, you're still on, bud.
Okay, so this mod, it should be compatible with every mod that doesn't modify like animations. But there's a few of them. So there's a few that I'm already looking at compatching, and it's really just to add my animations in there. So if you look at for the people who are modding, if you replace anything inside the male body asset or male head, female body assets, you will need a compatch. Aside from that, it will work. And I've ever since I saw the Warcraft 2 one, I already made a compatch for that, and it looks like it's working. I made one for Princes of Darkness, so if you guys like that one, it should roll out with it. And these are just animations only. I haven't worked their systems into it. That I'm leaving for them to do. Just basic overall. They're I don't want to say creatures, but they're vampires, they're blends, their characters should work. And yeah, I'm just looking through it, and it should be relatively super easy to compatch with just about every TC. So.
Wow. Okay, so we have a lot to look forward then. Rather. Well, thank you so much, Castox, for being on, man. And I'll let you go now, but thanks again, and we'll touch base soon, buddy.
Cool, yeah, no problem, man.
All right, see you, man. That was Castox, modder extraordinaire. Now, we're a little bit behind schedule, but I just want to go through a couple of the donos here, just for a second, if you'll bear with me. We got that one, and then we got these two. All right, let's pull these up, and we'll get going on the next little section. Display capture. Perfect. So we have here our display capture, and these are just the donos that came in. So Lord R with, I believe these are Swiss francs. Just 50, and then another 50, and then I believe another 5406. Oh no, that's the same one. But 50 and another 50. So you're a good lad there, Lord R, modding the chat, donating. Thank you so much. The Ryan Tuka battle has been coming out, but thank you guys so much for the donations. It doesn't need to be a battle or a war necessarily. Just it's really great that we're raising some money for charity. So Riot with the $100, $2, $98 donations. I think there might have been one more. And then Tuca with the 101, 49, and 50 over here. So you guys are great. Thank you guys so much. We also have 2 donos from Dr. Dre Doctor 1. That guy's a doctor, twice? So he's been to a lot of medical school, I'll tell you that much. And Emily from AGOT, thank you so much for the 10 pounds. You guys are the real heroes here, so thank you guys. Oh, that's the, that's the wrong screen, but yeah, thank you very much. So Tavern of Sin and Castox the Arena, keep an eye out for it. We're going to be posting all kinds of links to it and stuff. I think Castox doesn't post often, but when he does, you're guaranteed with a certified banger. Next, we're gonna head on over and talk about the next mod on our list. Let me pull something up here. Perfect. So, we're back in the studio. We're back. We're organized. I got my little papers in front of me. We're now talking about the next mod on our list. Voices of the Court. And I mentioned before, there are role players and there are map painters. Now, your role players are going to be so incredibly excited by this mod, I don't even think it's funny. This leverages, and I don't have I gotta get my notes up in front of me. Here, give me 2 seconds. But, sorry. The Voices of the Court leverages LLM, and I'm trying to figure, that's why I was stuttering there. I'm trying to figure out what LLM is. I think it's a large language model, to basically allow you to interact while you're playing CK3 with other characters in the game. And on this, that sounds like a great surface idea, right? Oh, that's cool, like you can just talk with another character. It's not just a surface idea. These guys take into account your character's history, everything your character has done, the way they act, the way they behave. They take into account the opposite character. So if the neighboring ruler, if it were, but you can do this with any character in the game. They take into account that character, their history, their traits, their personality. And they take into account the relationship between you two already, and you can have a conversation with them. You can kind of, you can role play with them and send them messages, and it leverages this large language model. I say that 100 times fast, eh? Large language model. That leverages this large language model to be able to kind of create things and make them happen in game. For example, you know, if you were to commit an action or wound somebody in this AI chat that you have going on, it'll give them the wounded trait. So this not only applies to just like certain conversational things, it can be extrapolated and expanded as large as the CK3 scripting engine allows. So a lot to be excited about there, and I think you guys should be really looking forward to this quick trailer, and we'll get on to the next thing after that. So without any further ado, Voices of the Court, here we are. Whoa. So releasing this summer, I know all kinds... Whoa, what the hell happened there? I know all kinds of role players are going to be hyped for that. Let's see the chat. What do you guys think about this? What are your thoughts? Give it to me. Hit me with it. Insane. I love that. Intersane. What will the AI say if I'm cucking them? Oh my days. Yeah, I think it's I think video games in general will start to like, and this is just okay, hold on. Everybody get your tinfoil hats on. Go into the kitchen, grab the tinfoil. Let's make the hat here. We're going with full Alex Jones right now. Here's my thoughts on this. I think as AIs and large language models and things progress, it's going to offer video games specifically. Everybody's trying to integrate it in every facet of life. They're trying to integrate it at my job. They're trying to integrate it elsewhere. Everything's got AI. You're always talking to a chatbot. But I'll tell you this much for free. I think with regards to gaming, and specifically Paradox games, AI like this is going to take the role-playing aspect, to take the dynamic playthrough aspect of this, and just crank it up to 100, right? Like, you're going to be able to play the game over and over and over again. It's going to be so unique and so different every single time, and I think that's really, truly something magical about these games. So, I think that's been the voices of the court. That one's really good. We do have some addressing to do here in the chat. Shade of the Lamp. Shade of the Lamp. I like that. With the big £1 dono. I don't even know. I don't even know if they're gonna start the AGOT bidding war. I don't even know if you can get a Greg's sausage roll for £1. How much is a Greg's sausage roll going for these days? But thank you very much for the £1 dono, starting the CK3 AGOT bidding war. And this is all going to charity, so yeah, thank you very much. Alright, I can finally rizz up Matilda for reals. I think that is actually the perfect use for this AI. I think it'll actually get out ahead. But next up, we have a different kind of ModCon entry. This one was titled To the Pioneers of the modding community. And again, we just saw Castox mod, we just saw a mod with AI, and these guys are doing something original, unique, very, very like cutting edge stuff, right? And this section is not focusing necessarily on the mainstream mods. It's not even focusing on things that see the light of day at the end of it. This section is more of an ode to the CK3 modder that works on something that might not make it in. Something wacky, wild, crazy, some kind of art. It's really, at the end of the day, CK3 modding is as much a science and the technical coding portion as it is an art form, making something creative, interesting, different than everything else. And this one's really celebrating those artists that take a lot of risks, and maybe they don't always pay off, but they're good for a few laughs. So, we'll be talking now about To the Pioneers. Let me just check the old notes here if there's anything missing. But yeah, it's a good video here. I believe the modder Terrapass was in charge of this one, so we're really excited to have them provide us with something here. And the singing's all in Ukrainian, I believe, so that'll be good if you're looking forward to it. So, let's take a look at this one, To the Pioneers. Sorry about that, folks. We had a little bit of a problem with the sound. That one was on me. We're gonna put that back in, and if you think you're having a fever dream, don't worry too much. You definitely are. So we're gonna restart this.
щось дуже загулявся, ледве я сюди добрався, буде жінка, мабуть, бити, за чуприну волочити, буде жінка, мабуть, бити, за чуприну волочити. Задумали мандрувати, рідні хати покидав, за Дунаєм опинились, бусурменством подружились, за Дунаєм опинились, бусурменством подружились. Гей, заїхав до жінкарки, випив неї ще 3 чарки, п'яний з возу і звалився, трохи я не вбився, п'яний з возу і звалився, трохи я не вбився. Ой, погані такі жарти, випив, мабуть, із 2 кварти, 3-я ось де. О, а де ж вона та в біса 3-я? Аж ось, дички, вона, голубочка 3-я. Пригодиться, що було чим похмилиться, 3-я ось де пригодиться, що було чим похмилиться.
Oh my. Can you believe that? Can I get like can I get a reaction in the chat for that? Like, that was insane. Like, let's give that guy some credit. Literally, who has a car door and decides, you know what I'm gonna do with this? I'm gonna rip it apart. I'm gonna take out the portion that I would typically use to lower the windows, and you know what? I'm just gonna start figuring out how to play CK3 with my car door. That is actually insane. I also, for some part of that, I thought I was having a fever dream, or I was on a lot of drugs, and I guess as the poll indicates. But yeah, that was crazy. It was very, very trippy. Very, very interesting. The things people are doing with this, really just off the wall, but very, very interesting. So the tattoo, I think there was a Tatooine section, if I recall correctly. I'm not sure. I was transported out of body and into a different dimension at one point, but there was a Tatooine section. Like, that looks sick. Like, how do I play that? So I'm gonna rely on the chat moderators here, all the fine guys in charge of setting up CK3, the CK3 ModCon. If we can get some links in the chat, that would be absolutely awesome. We're gonna want to check out some of those. So yeah, be sure to check the chat in a bit. Just trying to check viewer activity. We got some nice yellow and blue circles. We want peace everywhere in the world, love for everybody. So let's we'll move on now to the next section. So that was our first little section. Let me grab our schedule in a moment here, and we'll take a look at it. Schedule. Perfect. So we've done our intro. We did the AGOT section that focused on mapping. That was awesome. It was really great. You can see that every little small county, there's paint, and then there's more paint, and then there's more paint, and then you have guys not only painting it, but you have guys building the map for a Game of Thrones mod and really bringing it to life, making it something that's enjoyable to look at, because you're constantly looking at the map, constantly. It's super important. So that was a really interesting panel. The next section was the arena, now the Castox mod that blew us all away. Following that, we had Voices of the Court, an AI integration that's going to take role-playing to the next level, coming summer 2024. And following that, we had our lovely Ukrainian music over some absolutely trippy CK3 mods, To the Pioneers. So thank you so much to Tara for that. These guys have absolutely been cooking today. So thank you so much. So we're going to be changing it up. The next section is for the Mod Jam playthrough, so we'll come back to that in just a moment. But then we got 3 heavy hitters back to back to back. We got Oriental Empires, Shogunate, Crusader Wars, all together. Really, really crazy stuff. So those are going to be awesome. You're not going to want to miss it. Followed by I don't know, some other mod. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. A Game of Thrones mod with a trailer that's got a pretty interesting drop that I honest to God don't think anybody's gonna see coming. And it's a really good trailer too. So we're very, very excited for everything that's coming up. Yeah, so let's start cooking now. So the one thing that Kaiser Harm has asked me to speak about was the giveaway. So we're gonna be giving away some keys, lads. Can we put the link in the chat if you want a key to apply for it? How to apply for it in the chat? I believe it's a Google poll. You just put your info in there, and then I steal it and use it to fake your identity. There it is, Lord R. Thank you so much, Lord R. The CK3 stream giveaway right there. That is perfect. Now the mod jam I don't think is going to be as impressive as playing Crusader Kings with your car door window opener, but it's going to be coming up in a few moments. Just allow me a little bit to chat with some of the guys and see if we can get the showcase underway. Actually, if I can get maybe, yeah, we'll just, we'll take a short break, 1 or 2 moments here, just so I can load up the mod and we'll get going. Intro. There we go. Sorry about that. So we're queuing up the game now. You'll have to give me just a few moments here. I'm setting up the mod jam mod, and we'll get in a call with everybody and be ready to play it. So it's a music mod that they've been working on for 3 days. Some of the greatest modders in Crusader Kings 3 history all working together on this. And we're adding it to the current playset, and you guys will be able to play it after ModCon as well, but you're not going to want to miss what we have cooking for the second half of today's stream. So we're loading it up. Let me call the boys and get into a chat with them here. Hey guys, one sec. I don't have you on the audio just yet. Let me get you in and we'll oh, you sound great, bud. But no one can hear you. Would you be able to speak just so I could see if they can hear you.
Hello.
Chat, hear me.
Perfect. Oh, they must
Good
have you
morning,
now.
everyone.
We should be
Great.
singing something. It would be appropriate. I mean, we didn't prepare a song intro for the mod. Sorry, there was just not enough time.
We'll get somebody, get a musical modder in here.
I did take piano lessons when I was younger, so maybe I can just have a piano right next to me. Maybe I can just do some very quick improv.
Perfect.
Okay, I have my Crusader Kings open. I'm just changing the settings to be on a monitor that is of appropriate size. $1920, $1080. Here we go. We're cooking now. Let's see if this works. There we go. All right, so I suppose we do a new game, right? If I've got it hooked up correctly.
Yeah, we would recommend. So we did look around for some characters that might be good to test this with, and we went with King Malcolm of Scotland in 1066.
1066 start, all right, and then is that the King Malcolm of Scotland? You'd love to see it. All right, so let's cue this up. So this is the mod you guys have been working on for the mod jam that's been going for 3 days. The theme has been music, so we teased it earlier. We know that already there's a lot of different events. There's traveling events, there's practice required, and there's big payoffs when you actually succeed, correct?
Oh yeah.
All right, so yeah, let's play. I'm gonna play in unless anybody objects to it. I'm gonna play in debug mode just in case we get into a little bit of trouble. It'll be I think it should be a little bit easier.
You might need some money too for some of the activities. So
oh, okay, perfect. So, the other thing I have to do is I have to change my pan speed. Unfortunately, I put it down to 1%. There we go.
And look, you don't have to do this, but you know, if you want all the features, you might want to divorce your wife right off the bat.
You've sold me. The old, are we doing the old divorce attorney or just like the regular one? She refuses. So so I'll have to murder her. I don't have any choice.
Is murder the regular way?
Okay, well let's see. Do we want to just like see if the murder goes through, or we can just divorce her automatically? I don't know. So yeah, what do you guys recommend we check out first? So we do have some time here. Let me check when the next section, we're gonna start the next section, but so what do you recommend we start with other than murdering our wife?
So I think the kind of big thing a lot of the mod revolves around is the lyric poet trait, but one of the ways you get it is through the private performance activity. So that probably should be the first one you go. We have two activities. Mine is the smaller one, a little less impressive, but you know it's still important. So activity.
I think we're gonna help us out a little bit. A little bit of gold never hurt, eh? Okay, so let's try this private performance activity that you guys set out. So
real quick, I do just want to throw out there that there is if you wanted to start teaching your kid an education, maybe start there, because that takes a little while and it could be happening while we're doing everything else.
That's a wonderful idea. So Duncan over here.
Yep.
I'll set him up and then we'll put him to anything in specific.
Hold on. Go back. It should be there. He's 6 years old, right?
Yeah, he's 6 years old. Yeah.
There should be a.
No. Did I think I might have gone too fast. I'm a little bit excited here. Okay, here we go.
Well, it's not going to be through here. It's like a special character interaction that'll say like educate music or something like that.
Yeah.
Have child study language.
Okay. You need a court musician.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm still learning.
Okay, so you can. Yeah, we don't know what you made really. So then you need to go to make a court musician, and he also gets the trait, by the way. So if you just.
Oh my gosh, we only have terrible court musicians. Is there any way I can secure a good one? Is there any? There's no decisions, for a good musician.
No judgment.
No judgment. We just have like the. Yeah. We got Nickelback up here.
Yeah, I guess we'll just go with the random nobody for now.
Sure. What makes a good musician? Maybe we can just find somebody. Diplomacy skill plus 25. Okay, well
I don't
we'll
really
add
play
this
the
guy.
game, so I wouldn't.
He's poor. All right, that's fine. No worries. And then now that we have him, when we educate our child, we can have the child study music. Okay, that's actually sick, dude.
And there we go.
Okay, there we go.
You'll see his musical education. Let's do that. All right, sweet. Now this is going to give him traits, or what will this give him specifically?
Yeah, so it's going to be an event chain. I don't want to spoil, but at the end they should also get the lifestyle trait that we're all shooting for.
Yeah. So that's
cool.
one of the ways to get the lifestyle trait. Yeah, there you go.
You don't understand. Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
The musician also gets it automatically. So like the guy you just gave the job will also have it. There's a couple of ways to get it.
Oh, okay. Here we go. So we have our son that we've had educated by our court musician, and then that'll trigger an event chain. So we see our son Duncan here wants to play, I don't know, the strings, I guess, of the lute, right? So we've hooked him up, and then the court musician has this lyrical poet trait now with these different tiers, and I'm assuming so does our child, right?
They'll get it eventually, yeah.
They'll get it eventually. Okay. And what do these? If I go back and find our buddy here, where is he? There we go. What do these give us in terms of bonuses? So we get additional prestige, vassal opinion, and if the tooltip would cooperate with me, there we go.
Isn't that the worst?
Yeah, I know. Additional learning, intrigue, prestige. Wow. So this is really nice.
Yeah. And for my low activity, which you look earlier, one of the things the trait does, the more experience you have, the less a chance you'll make a major mistake during the performance. If you make a major mistake during the performance, then, well, that's not good.
And what would be beneficial? Okay, so we'll get into the actual performance itself in just a moment. What would be beneficial then in terms of like a lifestyle tree? Is having high diplomacy good for being a musician, or it's kind of not really pertinent, or?
I don't know if the stat, like the raw diplo, plays into things.
Okay.
It's more like lifestyle trait gives you raw diplo. It's like it flows that way, not the other way.
Right. Although
Awesome.
you do need a baseline, like minimum level of, you may have saw earlier when you were looking quickly like the activity for the private performance, you do need a little bit of a certain level of diplomacy and learning to be able to even do the activity unless you have the poet trait. So it's like not everyone can do music, or pick up music. Like you have some basic ability to do so. So I picked diplomacy and learning since I felt those were the most relevant to the idea of a musician.
Yeah, that makes a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because this musician part is not just about like sitting in a room and playing for yourself. Because that's what I think that's what most people in the modern day do when they play music. But actually, performing is a whole separate skill. So that's why the traits has to XP tracts. And so performance does involve like charisma, like basically what you YouTubers have, and we generally don't. We modders, so we imagine a lot.
So okay, so then we can do kind of a performance here now. That would probably be the next logical step to get this trait for my current character. Correct?
That is correct.
Cool. All right, so because we have high diplo or high learning, we can actually execute this private performance. Let's take a look. So, small room, little bit of prestige, little bit of base opinion. I like it. Large room, more prestige, more opinion, and outside court, same thing. It just kind of scales all the things, right?
Yep, basically.
So I think the large courtroom, I love this art. So this is an existing art. This isn't existing. Is the large courtroom an existing piece of art, or is that something you guys added?
All this is taken. So I just cropped these from some of the event scenes in vanilla.
Ah, okay.
So ones that I felt kind of fit the vibe of the different categories. I think I kind of like doing this kind of thing for my own mods too, but it's a very nice way to quickly have like a very screenshotable thing you can show on the when you're promoting the mod. Like, hey, look at this cool thing, even if it doesn't actually do anything. But obviously, this does something.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, of course.
That this game has so many, great illustrations, making so many great people. So there's a lot of basically things for us modders to crop and stretch and warp into. It is easy to make them look appealing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So down there, the other option, the amount of practice you do, so that kind of represents how much practicing you're doing before the performance. The more practice you do, the less a chance you'll have to mess up. And because if you mess up, you won't be able to get some of the bonuses.
And you gain stress from messing up, obviously.
Yep. So, but and you gain stress from practicing, but it'll be offset by stress you lose later if you don't mess up.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's quite balanced. So obviously, if you in the lead up, you're not stressed out practicing, but then the event's very stressful, or you go into it with quite confidence. Okay, cool.
And there's different intents you can choose for different varieties of bonuses, minor differences.
So I did notice that. So you have showing off, which is to see everybody wants to see how great of a performer you are. Gain double prestige. Ambitious and arrogant characters will lose extra stress. That's awesome. Fun just for joshing around. You got gregarious and content characters will lose extra stress. I like that. That makes perfect sense. I think that's your guy. Ever you go to a pub and you're watching somebody play, I feel like they're always having a good time, And artistry. So music and poetry is an expression of one's soul. I love the wording in this. Do you guys write this all yourself, or do you use kind of inspiration from elsewhere when you build these tool tips and prompts and things?
I usually just write. For my stuff at least, because I think I mentioned before a few times, in this ModCon, writing is my true love. Modding is really a side hobby. So I really enjoy just writing some of this stuff myself, and that's really why I mod. But for mod jams, since this was done on very short amount of time, I kind of just put whatever garbage in my head into the code immediately.
Yeah, exactly. It was
sorry.
Everything was off the cusp. I was just saying everything's off the cusp. There's no time to do revisions. Even as I was writing stuff, I'm like, hey, maybe we'll come back and come up with something better. But you never do go back.
Yeah.
I do want to stress that Sebixcon's garbage is basically better than all of our best efforts. So let's not put it down this.
Thank you.
Too funny, guys. Okay, so then let's go actually with one of these activities. I was just taking out our character, Malcolm III. He's quite arrogant, cynical. So I think we'll just get going on that. I think what would probably be best for a private performance, a big performance in an outside courtyard, with I don't know, just a medium amount of practice if he really is truly stressed out, and then showing off for sure. I think that's got to be it, right?
There's one more thing you can do to prepare, and that is basically to hire extra, before the activity, and that is to up the amenity, the court amenity for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if we're sending you on a very
wild goose chase here, eh? Well, let's queue up the old Stone of Schoon and the what else we got here? Okay, cool. So let's take a look at these guys. So to have a tasteful music, that's fucking sick.
Yeah, there we go.
So we crank this up, and that'll give us increased diplomacy, personal scheme power. Wow. Private performances have better outcomes.
So you get more prestige. So it's an investment in the grandeur of your court, but it also it makes that activity better. So there's a little bit of synergy between.
That's very cool. And does your court level have anything to do, any bonuses on any of the activities?
No. For this, it's just the musicians. You might have a terrible court, but if you have a lot of people you are paying to back you up, then you're going to have a good show.
So we're gonna have bombastic music. I love it, man. Okay, so let's apply that, and let's take a look at the actual activity now.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna plan a private performance outside courtyard, right here. Showing off, medium amount of practice. Do we want to invite a special guest? Does that have an impact? No.
No, I
No
don't.
special
not.
guest. Yeah, I didn't have time to do that. I was thinking of having a feature where you could have like someone you could dedicate it to, but I'm like, yeah, that's gonna take too much time. So I just want to have something simpler.
Cool. All right, so I can't wait to show off my musical skills, although the recital won't happen right away. All right, I look forward to the recital. Let's go. Are we already hit by a plague? Oh god.
This is all just like the small activity. This is all basically. I'm just look at the time and think maybe we're going to run a bit late because there's also the big.
Okay, so what do we want to do here? How do we?
So let's just. I think we best maybe just go through this activity because it'll give you the trait which you need to do the big activity. So big activity is a little more impressive. So.
Okay, so.
And
our
so,
wife is not
yeah.
yet, so.
So okay, so I'm getting ready for this performance. He's holding his lute, which is that an existing animation?
Yeah, that's from Vanilla. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
But I do think the loot was made by Castok. No, not Castok, sorry. By El Tiranos. Not
Yeah.
Castok didn't do everything.
We're all programmed by cast dogs.
So 18% chance we make a mistake during this, right? Because we didn't practice a lot, and oh, I did, and I got 60 stress because of it, and spent prestige. So if it's not like it's an instant prestige gain just to run this, right? Like there's pitfalls to it as well.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Yeah, now you don't get the trait, I don't think.
Oh, so now we just took a fat L.
But okay, you can still do it in the console. Let me just type in here in Discord what you can
Sure, yeah, I'll pop into the console just to see and poke around with this mod. Wow, okay, hold on. I actually did, as for the show itself, I got 810 prestige. That's actually sick.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
wow. I'm very bad balancing my mods.
I mean, that's the amenity. You basically put the maximum. That's all the bombastic music playing. So even though you're playing terrible, you have the whole orchestra backing you up.
This guy is hyped though, bro. He's pumped for it.
Yeah. So I just in the Discord chat, I just added the lines you need to put in the console to give yourself the trait.
Sure, no problem. So
Oh, yeah,
let's
yeah.
do that. Let's pop that in there. Good thing I left debug mode open for this so we could see it
Yeah.
all. So now we're a lyrical poet, right? And with this trait, we can now execute, if I'm not mistaken, blah, 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 the tour of, how do you say that? How do you pronounce this?
Minstrelsy? I think.
Minstrelsy? That's a new one to me. I can't
weird.
believe you guys did all this in 3 days, man. Wow.
Yeah.
So-
we just swing it.
So tell me about this tour. I know you spoke to me about it before. So big tour, big activity, and from it you get what? Gold, lovers. What's the big perks?
Yeah.
What's the bonuses here?
So I mean, the real perks are those level ones. You know, you get the big modifier. That's what you're shooting for throughout the activity. You want to try to level up the bar and get to the 5th level. And then like on the way, there's everything. You're gonna find friends, lovers, gold, that kind of stuff. Just the random event kind of bonuses. But the idea is, hey, you've got your trait. You know how to play. It's time to tour the lands and earn gold by playing in other lords' courts.
Wow. Okay, cool. Well, let's give it a shot now. No, you must have added this art, guys. This looks great, man. This is not. There's no way this is vanilla, is it?
Yeah, that was all Microsoft Paint. It was very time consuming, but I think it was worth it.
Wow.
I don't
Travel
know
the
how
world
it
as we play. Holy smokes! So we could go all over the UK and Ireland. Wow. Is there anywhere
Yeah,
in
it was-
specific that'll help, or?
So picture this, like a lot of this code is ripped out of the Grand Tour, so there's gonna be
Okay.
a lot of similarities. So you're gonna, you can make a path the same way as the Grand Tour, where you do a big looping circle and try to end up back at your corridor. I mean, you'll end up either way, but you can try to be efficient if you want.
Okay, so let's do just for our test here. Let's do 1 or 2 down here. I don't know. Is this Newcastle
Which one
over
of
here?
this?
But yeah, we'll go
And
just here
try
and
to
back.
do-
Is that? Yeah.
Try to do enough that you're gonna be able to earn the reward at the end. So I would recommend like, I don't know, 6 or 7, and we can always like 4 times speed it if things take
Okay.
too long. But
Yeah,
each,
no
each stop
stress.
is pretty quick. They're all pretty quick.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I like it. Sounds good.
Yeah, that should be good.
A lot of people hate me for being below legitimacy expectation, but it's fine.
I think it's
let's
also that you murdered your wife, so maybe
well,
it's
yeah,
relevant.
you gotta get divorced somehow.
Yeah, is your wife gone yet, or is she still hanging around?
I think
No,
she's
we
still around,
met
to
her.
be honest with you, but I don't know.
This guy's too busy playing music to run the country. Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe like debug kill her too.
Okay, so we
Our
can
debug
increase the
song.
luxuries, and we just want to perform. So let's start this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got rid of her, so we could definitely find somebody. A duel
Okay, good.
demanded. So this is just generic game, right? The old duel.
Yeah, it's a travel event.
No interest. You do be walking
Yeah,
though, this guy. All right, so the show goes on. Here we go. You've arrived at your first holding. Time to explore. Let's get settled. So you enter a tavern where you're immediately recognized by the locals. My days. After some excitement, they call a drink is shoved in your hand. This sounds like my regular Friday night. Join us for a challenge of drink. Do we fight them here for a drink? I think so. Your world tour success is increases moderately if we start drinking with them.
Yeah, so that's a common theme. Most events are going to have an impact on your success of the event, so you can kind of game it out a bit.
We met our biggest fan too. That's sick. Private tour of his town. The more you take me away from here.
So
Interesting.
looks like some of the gender stuff didn't.
Okay, yeah.
stick,
So I gotta be honest. I was
He
testing some.
might be homosexual though.
I'm
Yeah, that could be
I'm a little homosexual. I was playing for a different strategy and.
but- Hey, there it is.
So
There we
we might pick up this guy. You never know. Yeah, let's get this guy on
works.
a tour.
It works. I'm just happy it works.
That's Todd Howard.
As you tune your instrument, prepare to play. You
All right,
mentally
so-
select a song. Here we go. So we.
This is the mini game, so you're gonna want to remember these notes. You're gonna have to.
Oh, jeez. D, E, F, G, A, B. Okay, chat. D, E, F, G, A, B. G, A, B. Okay, let's see it. Okay, D. F. G. A. Where is B? It's kind of small. A, B, C. B, I think. Did I nail it? Bruh. My performance was good. So did I nail it or did I miss any?
You did miss one,
Oh, no way. Okay.
but it's a good demonstration that there's.
I
different
like that
levels.
little. I like how that mini game influences like your performance and stuff. I kind of like that.
Yeah, it was a pretty, it's like when I was loaded, because I think when I loaded up this morning to check, because of the build I was working on, it was before all this stuff was like, I had this stuff on my build. So I didn't, when I was like, wow, this is such a fun minigame. If I had more time, I would have integrate something like that into the smaller activity, maybe like a smaller scale, like so 2 or 3 notes or something like that, instead of like multiple notes like this to kind of give the player more time to kind of actually literally practice it. But it's a very, very cool idea that our friend here did with literally the mini game.
And I fully agree, and I think it's so cool that you have the icons in there. I don't know if they're icons or whatever, but usually it's just text in there, right? So it's really cool you have the icons and leveraged it that way.
I think what I would have wanted is if each option actually played the actual note, so like it's corresponded to the actual Dies Irae melody.
Oh my god, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, one of your guests, he's not home. You can't visit him. Tough luck.
Bugger. This one too. This guy's gone.
Oh, everyone's at war.
Oh. I think it's William the Conqueror. Like he is just invading England and is disrupting our tour. That's terrible.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't know why the dancers follow you as you travel. That's these are like the awkward things that if we had a week instead of 2 days, we could polish
Yeah.
out. But
We can stick them as
mean,
groupies. They're just groupies.
mhm.
It all makes sense really to me.
Okay, so this is where you'd usually get a beautiful woman, but as my character's old homosexual man, I'm getting Duke Malcolm over here, right? And he shared me.
This one's not lover. This is
No?
just the
Okay.
ruler.
Oh.
This is the owner of these lands, and you have a chance to become, good friends with him.
Oh, okay.
Or improve the quality of your floor.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I'm gonna
it's
go
always
for
good.
maxing out this, but 1,000 prestige, bro. We gotta go for maxing out the bars for sure.
I mean,
Halfway,
you're
we're at
choosing your
two.
career. You're choosing your career over friendship. I mean, the story tells itself.
Yeah.
So this guy's a bit of a drunk talking to us here. He's giving us
Yeah, this is the spy master of this court, and you got him drunk, and he's a big fan, and he's, hey, I could tell you a secret.
That's actually sick. Okay, let's hear it. I don't know if it did fire or maybe I missed it.
No, there's just not a follow-up event, but you learned a secret, I think.
Oh yeah, okay, I got this guy's lover's secret now. Sweet, okay. Blackmail that guy for some gold. Oh, okay, hold on. This is gonna be okay. Let's do colors this time, because I think the letters I'm like a little bit dyslexic maybe. All right, so yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, red. Yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, red. Oh, I nailed it. Perfect. There we go. Let's go. That minigame is actually kind of sick, dude. I love how you integrated the decision and made a minigame out of it, the series of decisions.
Yeah, buddy.
I mean, this is basically. I think it is worth to talk about because this is a grand activity, and I mean, a lot of modders don't really do activities because they're a hassle. There are a lot of boilerplate script, and they take a lot of work to even get to a stage. And now he's appointed has. I mean, Cyberscan has made also a complete activity. He calls it small, but it is also like every bell and whistle. It's amazing. East Pointed made what's called a grand activity, basically a tour. And like, even though it is copy pasted from like the World Tour, but at the same time he added a minigame within the activity. So I just meant to stress this is a lot of talent on display.
Wow, yeah, and I have to say, like, it integrates so seamless. Like, I can see how this would integrate so seamlessly with the base game, and I think that's like what a lot of people are looking for, is just that little addition in sometimes in mods. Like, sometimes people want complete overhauls, sometimes people want other things, but what I really love is these little mods that just add just a little something, and this is perfect. Like, you wouldn't even notice it if you know, you never played tours and tournaments before and had this in it. I think it would flow in so nicely. Okay, so hold up. We're strolling through the streets. Find instrument. Just try to sell me an instrument. Oh, this is very similar to the other one where you're walking through and you gotta buy something, right?
Yeah, so I mean, you're gonna see it's like travel. There's about 9 events total, so you're gonna see duplicates. But you can see how it could be expanded if this mod gets supported in the future.
Yeah, but the amount of effort that goes into each one of these, right? You have to find the character, you have to give them the animation, the background, the decision, the localization. Like, it's a lot, man. And you guys only had a few days, so it's really, really well done.
Yeah.
You know me, I always look at the decisions and I try and see, like, I see any green, I'm clicking it, you know. So we're doing a I think for the church here, the divine chords, right? And I think I'm gonna try and max out the showmanship in this one. Oh, okay. I nailed the colors, so I don't know if I can go back. If I go back to letters, let's see. G, A, B, C, D, E.
Yep,
If one of us had a perfect pitch, we could have just sung it now. But I don't think any of that.
Yeah, all these song choices were from ChatGPT, I'll admit it. And I don't know how to read music, so it's like, hey, give me 6 notes from popular medieval songs. So it picks some songs, picks some notes. So they are real notes or real songs.
Wow, you know what would be crazy if with it you had like a little ding every time you, like, the music, like a note clicked every time you hit a decision.
Oh yeah,
that
absolutely.
would be really cool.
Kind of like the Crusader Kings 2 jingle when you on the menu screen when you click the different players and
of course.
If you remember, if you guys play Crusader Kings 2? Am I like that old?
Yes,
just a little bit.
No, I remember that. I think I just sometimes I just keep pinging those. I want to hear the whole song, so I just click 20 rulers to just hear it.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was such a nice little bit of like. I mean, it didn't do anything, but it was like it's just really nice to have it in the game.
So I'm gonna say keep trying hard, because just like the Grand Tour, there is a secret 5th level. I don't know if everyone knew this, but on all the Grand Tour, there's like a 5th tier of special rewards if you truly max it out, and the only shows 80. So there is like a 5th level in behind the scenes.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either, to be fair. Like,
Yeah,
that's actually
that's
crazy.
base game jank.
Yeah, but you know the thing is that as modders, we don't really know our own mods anyway, so that's fun. You guys didn't know that. Like once you like once you've done so much modding, it's like you don't have time to play it. You don't remember what you added.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
I have people like my Discord who like remind me all the time, like, hey, you remember? Like, you know, they'll ask me, oh, like, how is this feature working? And one of the other members on my Discord be like, oh yeah, this is how it works, because like I don't remember.
Oh, I've definitely messed this one up.
Oh no.
AD? I have no idea.
I mean, a couple
Mediocre
of-
performance. Well, it makes you actually have to pay
Mediocre.
attention, which is really nice. Okay, so I
This is
finished the
like a
tour. Did
good
I hit the
minigame.
5th tier?
Okay, so you check up at the top. You got Minstrel of Legend. I think that's the best tier. And
Let's
you gained a new Legend Seed.
Plus
So that's like
30% monthly
Oh, wow.
renown. And a new legend seed. Oh yeah, so we talked about the legend. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this off, and I'll just take a look. Oh, we don't have too much time left to review the mod, but this new legend seed, wow, what an icon too. That is so cool.
If you look close, it's just an icon put over a different icon. I didn't have to do a lot of time, but
it integrates well. Like, okay, so
Classic color junk.
I'll create it about myself. I love the textures here too. This is great, man. And so now we can spread a legend about how great we are as a musician, and from that we'd get kind of insane bonuses, right? If I recall correctly.
yeah, so it's like, I think it's got the same rewards as the heroic legends type, but also has a special reward at the end. If you do manage to spread it a ton, it gives you the Harp of David, which is a base game mythic artifact that gives a lot of nice bonuses. And that's just kind of like the finale. You've done all this stuff. Congrats, kind of ending.
Wow. Okay, so I think that's a great place to maybe leave it off. Is there anything we're missing? Because I'll leave this little section for people that want to play it on their own, that want that little surprise at the end if you get that mythical level legend for being a musician. Is there anything else you guys wanted to mention about this, or talk about, or anything?
What do you guys have anything?
It was a blast. It was first mod jam. It was a great experience. I encourage everyone to try it. Like,
Yeah.
it was. I mean, it was stressful getting stuff done. We were working to the last minute, but definitely a great experience. Probably will be doing it next year.
Yeah. So yeah, for anyone who's interested in playing, it should be up on Steam now. I was the one voluntold to upload it, so it's upload under my username, but I did make
I
sure
put the
that
link in
all-
the chat, so they're aware of it.
Yeah, so like, you know, I think we kind of covered a lot of the features, or a few I think we didn't really go into too much detail, like the child education, since I think that didn't happen on this, and then there was also some other flavor events that we added here and there. That, you know, that kind of stuff is a little harder to kind of make them like show up organically during gameplay, but you know, I did provide screenshots of as much of the features as I could in the Steam page, like, you know, all you guys can see, you know, the full breadth of all the stuff we added. You know, it's a lot. You know, all of us, we all added a lot of different things that somehow work together seamlessly, despite the fact that we kind of come from different backgrounds, different ideas of what we wanted to do. So it's been very fun. Nowhere near as chaotic as blind modding, thankfully, but you know, I think we got really fun product, and we really hope everyone kind of enjoys the fruit of our hard work for the last few days.
Yeah, well, it's really, really cool. I'm sure people will be checking it out and playing it right after this. The link is there in the chat. If they want to play the Mod Jam right now, they can go ahead and play it. But I don't think they're going to want to miss what's next. So thank you again, guys. I really appreciate you having come on and explained the mod and showed it to me and worked with me through my musical difficulties. I got a bit of a tin ear, so this was great. Thanks, guys.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so we'll talk soon, and we'll hop back in we'll hop back into the next section. So, thank you everybody. That was the Mod Jam. That was awesome, and I think if the guys are interested, somebody said Made of Iridium mentioned that they're a composer with knowledge of medieval music. So if anybody wants to keep working on that mod, I think they could be an asset too, and they could help you out. So. Let's get into it. So I know there's a lot of new folks here. Let's go over the schedule. Let me bring that up real quick. We've been kind of hinting at it here and there, but let's bring it back for just a moment. So we had our intro. We did the AGOT mapping. We had a bit of a mod jam session and teaser at the beginning. Then we worked into the arena, the Castox mod that blew us away, the voices of the court, the AI integration coming this summer that's going to revolutionize roleplay in Crusader Kings. And then we had our I don't know if you want to call this trip, fever dream, I don't know what that was. The Ode to Modders, the To the Pioneers of Modding video. A great video. It was really, really fun to watch. And now we've had our Mod Jam playthrough. And we're running a little bit behind, but it's not too bad. We're on to Oriental Empires, the next section at ModCon here today. So, I don't have too much time to review it. We haven't had much time. I'm just gonna go through the chat, see if we missed any donos for anything, and we'll get right into it. What I will say is thank you everybody who's joined and watched the stream. We're going to be watching the Game of Thrones stream after. I know a lot of people are here for that. That is a big one. So stay tuned for that. There's a bit of a hot drop in the trailer, I would say. A bit of something people are going to be very, very excited about. And I personally am honored to be the one announcing it. So we're at 404 concurrent viewers. That's what my stream's telling me here. If you can't support the chat financially, because we're doing a fundraiser today for able gamers, and if you're not able to support that way, that's totally fine. We're just happy to have you here as part of the community. But something you can do for free, give the stream a like, go down and give it a quick comment. We need to help the algorithm kind of boost the stream. The Game of Thrones mod is huge, and this is a huge drop we're going to be talking about today. And, if you don't mind, maybe while you're down there, subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 100K, and you could at least say you were here before 100K, because I got big plans for the channel. So, all that considered, we're trying to hit 100K, hit subscribe, like the video, and we're going to be on right now with Oriental Empires.
Crusader Kings World. Back in 2021, I launched the Oriental Empires mod project, soon joined by Oreo and numerous talented Chinese modders. We all share a deep passion for Chinese and Asian history, and were disappointed by the absence of East Asia in the Crusader King games. Step by step, we added Greetings everyone, I'm Chill Shadow, the founder of Oriental Empires mod, and one of the dreamers working to merge all of Asia into the Crusader Kings world. Back in 2021, I launched the Oriental Empires mod project, soon joined by Oreo and numerous talented Chinese modders. We all share a deep passion for Chinese and Asian history, and were disappointed by the absence of East Asia in the Crusader King games. Step by step, we added titles, histories, cultures, faiths, flavor, bureaucracy, and tribute system for all of Asia. 3 years later, Oriental Empires has over than 160,000 subscribers. China and East Asia content are no longer distant backdrops or exotic fantasies, but integral parts of this world. Now, let me show you how we made it possible. As you see, Oriental Empires is the first Crusader Kings 3 mod to feature the map spanning from the Atlantic to the Pacific, with a complete de jure title structure, seamlessly integrated with Crusader Kings 3 original map. Each county corresponds to a Chinese prefecture, a Japanese commandery, or a steppe horde. The number of counties is not solely determined by the population density, but also by playability. Homely sites, passes, and rivers are well reflected. The power of China proper, the steppe, and other regions of Asia has been balanced, preventing the Chinese Empire from dominating alone. This also explains the rise and fall cycle of nomadic empires, making gameplay in this region more challenging. We also have a unique struggle to simulate this progress. Chinese Empire was never monolithic. The titles within Empire are determined by reference from Historical Atlas of China, General History of Chinese Administrative Divisions, Terrain and Archaeological Sites. Cultures and faiths vary in different regions. An imperial division could be a warlord's fiefdom, a vassalized chieftaincy, or a purely civil jurisdiction, which is reflected through contract. As the Emperor, your important task is to both use warlords to resist enemies, or weaken or transfer them into civil jurisdictions before they grew too powerful. If you fail, armed and mighty warlords will replace you and proclaim a new dynasty with their own title, or claim to restore a former dynasty. Yes, within the Crusader Kings 3 timeline, East Asia was undergoing immense changes, giving rise to numerous extraordinary characters. The Celestial Empire declined, suffering a century of rebellion and warlords conflicts, was finally restored order by one victorious warlord. Meanwhile, many Asian kingdoms freed from the old tribute system embarked on their unique paths. Nomadic empire rose one after another to challenge the Chinese Empire, conquer Central Asia, and almost unify the entire Eurasia. Thanks to Orio's meticulous research on historical materials, inscriptions, and epitaphs, and the joint efforts of the player community, we have built a historical character database with over than 10,000 characters with their genealogies, comparable to the Chinese historical character database of the Harvard University. Bookmarks will continue to extend to both ends of the timeline. In terms of flavorization, we adopted a naming convention that conforms to East Asia language habits, with surnames preceding gaming names, and some cultures using generational names. Emperors can customize reign titles as calendrical standards, which also reflected in the naming of the plagues. After the death of Celestial Emperor, the new emperor can select the temple names and posthumous titles. According to ancient Chinese customs, the traits of the late emperor will determine the quality of the temple name and the posthumous title. Besides, seal script Chinese characters are used as title and house emblems. Chinese poems are marked in points of interest and special buildings, giving you an immersive experience of traveling with ancient literati. Now, let's delve into the greatest invention of Oriental empires, the bureaucracy system. Bureaucrats, following the official succession law, accumulate bureaucratic experience in 4 tracks. Both constructing buildings and engaging with empire counselors can boost experience. The higher the bureaucratic trait level, the more high-tier title position can be accessible. Once high-tier bureaucrats vacate their title position, characters with sufficient bureaucratic level will fill their void, triggering a series of official transfers. Players can also experience promotion and demotion. As a humble bureaucrat, travel to a new territory to serve the court until you ascend to the power core, become a great minister. That means you not only possess regency power, but can also arrange courtiers into the palace, compel the emperor to undertake certain unwilling actions, and so on. Due to time constraint, I cannot all the mechanisms. As Crusader Kings 3 continue to update, we have also updated the content of the Royal Court, artifacts, struggles, diarchy, traveling, tribute systems, legends, and plagues. We're eagerly awaiting an administration government and relentless gameplay this year to bring creative space to Oriental Empires. Welcome everyone to subscribe and participate in our Discord channel and English localization project. You're also encouraged to subscribe to Oriental Empires partner mod, enriching Oriental Empires with etiquette, colorful life, warfare, and more bookmarks. Thank you all, see you in the game.
Holy smokes, was that not crazy or what? That is, I don't even know where to start, because there's a few things about this, right? The first thing is, it's a group of people that took it upon themselves to represent an entire area of the map not represented. And you're gonna see that again soon with the Shogun mod that's coming up that specializes, rather, I was looking for the word, it specializes in Japan, but these guys took Asia to the next level. Did you see that map? Maybe I can pop back in here. Let's see. Let's see if I can play this. Like, did you see they went over the map? Look at all the detail that was done. We already went over a section of the panels today all about how intense the mapping is. I can't imagine how many hundreds of hours has gone into this. They showed the drip. Where's the drip? The artifacts, the court. Look at all the people. This is absolutely beautiful. And what kills me, not the little characters involved. I can't make those out for heads or tails, but it's the history. The amount of effort that's put into the history absolutely kills me. This is so well done. The effort that's gone in. Sorry, I'm jumping around. I'm trying to find the specific shot here. But the effort gone into recreating the map, taking the history, taking the poems, the courts, the artifacts, the governance systems. Whew. Unbelievable. And I don't think it has as many eyes on from Western audiences as it truly deserves. So I highly recommend people go check this one out. Really a great mod. Yeah, so I also want to mention, we'll come back to the old studio here for a second. I also want to mention that we are doing a key giveaway for Crusader Kings. Now, I know all 450 people in here, they're gonna love, they love Crusader Kings, right? Obviously, you probably all own it, but a free key, it's not something to turn your nose up at. You get your free key, you give it to one of your buddies, you could be playing multiplayer with some of your friends on this. Great thing. So there is a Steam key giveaway. If you take a look, let me pin it to the chat here. Let's see if we can do that real quick. So yeah, we're gonna be giving away one or three keys after Shogun, and right before Game of Thrones mod, we're gonna be giving away a few more. So yeah, make sure you get in on that. You have the next, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes to enter. And we'll take a look at it. But that was really amazing work by the folks at Oriental Empires. Really wonderful mod. And if you're interested in helping them out, if you're I don't know, if you're just bilingual, or if you're Chinese American or Canadian, or you have the ability to speak multiple languages, I think they're looking for people to help them do translation. So please do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you guys so much. So, moving on, we have Shogunate. That's the next mod. It's an awesome mod. So I've worked with this modder, the lead, I think, Fun. I've worked with him once or twice, and talk about professional. So we talked about before in the last mod, the amount of effort, attention to detail, historical research that went on with the Oriental Empires one. Well, this one, I tell you, these guys go hard. So this is a mostly Japanese team. I know there's a few people from Europe, I believe, and they really, really go hard. The same thing. They have their own artifacts, their own clothing, their own courtrooms, their own history. It's really, really wonderful. So I had the pleasure of showcasing them and their really professional team last year at ModCon 2022. And since then, they've come out with a whole bunch of new stuff. They've added new content. You know, they've divided their cultural era systems into 6 and added all kinds of new innovations that were researched in that area during that time period. So really exciting stuff. There's new mechanics. There's the Japanese adoption interaction, which is quite interesting, and I believe they do go into that in the video. They've added a seppuku event. I don't know if I just got demonetized or not, but for a samurai's honor, you can take that event, and new graphics as well. So I actually am very excited to see the new graphics and show those off. And there's also been modifications to the vanilla Shogunate mod. So I think we are quite a bit behind. So what we'll do, we'll go with the Shogunate mod, and then after, be ready for the key giveaway. We're very, very excited today. So here we go. Wow. Very exciting stuff. All kinds of new stuff. The 3D modeling work and art in there is just phenomenal. But I don't think, like, I know that's what really hits, but right away. But there's all these systems of governance, the terrain modeling, the county modeling, the game. They do a phenomenal job over there at that mod. And really deserve a lot of praise. So I would recommend going to check out their last year's ModCon video. Go check out this one, download it, give it a play. Those guys are awesome and really do great work. And again, the historical research, is really well done. So all around, phenomenal mod. Thank you so much, Fun. I was singing your praises before, my buddy, and very professional team they have over there. Great seeing you guys all in chat. Can we give some love to Fun in chat, man? Him and his team, great, or them and their team, great group of people. So next up we have Crusader Wars, but before that we have a small giveaway for some Crusader Kings 3 keys. So let me get some keys going here. One moment. We'll get the wheel of names cooking, and let me see. So we're gonna give away 6 keys in total, and we can do that just here. Let me add new display capture, I guess. Here we go. Okay, so we've got the wheel of keys here. So all these people are eligible for a lovely Crusader Kings 3 key. We're gonna give away 2 right now, I think, and 3 right before the next pull. So let's go ahead and press, and we'll see the winner of the first key. And I hope Roxy doesn't get sewered again this time. My name is Jack. So close, but it was Nalcros. Congratulations, Nalcros. So I'm assuming Harm is monitoring this, so I'll send that to him. But we'll get going on the next one. We'll pull another one. So Nalcros, the first one. I don't think I removed it, so we'll have to make sure they don't double up here. A peacekeeper? A peacecaper? A peacecaper? Congratulations, you've won a Crusader Kings 3 key on Steam. If you guys want them, give them to your friends. You can play in multiplayer. It's awesome stuff. So, we're still 3 minutes behind. I'd like to go and ramble more, and as I'm sure you guys would love to hear me ramble on and on. But we'll get going. So, as you guys know, a whole ton more people join the stream right now. We got 626 concurrent viewers. So, we have 2 really big videos coming up. We have Crusader Wars, that's the next one up. Then, after a small discussion, we have a game-breaking AGOT trailer that's going to be dropping. I am so excited and honored to be the ones. Can we get some love for AGOT in the chat here? Come on. You guys must be absolutely pumped for the Game of Thrones trailer coming out. Huge announcement today. You gotta stay tuned. What I will say before then, ModCon this year has been phenomenal, and I'm thanking you guys so much. We've all put in a lot of effort, and I'm gonna need to have a Harm on later, because Harm is the man that hooked it all up. Harm and Uber have been working so tirelessly to set this whole thing up. So, plan is Crusader Wars, then a little break. We're gonna give away some more keys, so make sure join the CK3 Steam key giveaway, and we have a couple more keys to give away, and we'll be on it from there. Also, there's 630 people watching. Thank you guys so much for joining. The chat rate has just gone up insane amount. Now, if everyone would like the stream, that would be huge for me. And if you guys could subscribe, I'm on my way. I'm only a couple, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 away from 100,000 subs. And if everybody watching could sub, it would actually mean the world to me. It's been something I've been working on for 3 years to get to 100,000 subscribers, and I'm so close. And you guys could do it unsub in 6 months. But you really would help me out. So thank you guys. You guys are legends. And without further ado, I'm going to play Crusader Wars, no intro, and we'll talk about it after because it is such a great video they've cooked for us here. We'll discuss everything in a minute. So here is Crusader Wars.
Since the dawn of time, I, and many of you, have been begging, seething, and crying, even politely typing, for a strategy game that would somehow deliver the strategic campaign complexity of Paradox and the massive and epic battles of Total War. Well, today, our pleas have been heard, and once again, by none other than the amazing modders we can thank so much for. This is Crusader Wars, a mod that manages to combine Crusader Kings 3 with Total War Attila, and there's a whole lot else going on here which makes it even better. Crusader Kings 3 is an amazing game in many respects, but perhaps its battles could be more intriguing than just watching two people hack at each other. In the same vein, Total War has some awesome battles, but arguably not the deepest and most roleplay campaigns. What makes Crusader Wars so beyond amazing is that it combines these two games and makes each have an impact on the other.
Wow, guys, are you guys not hyped by that? What did they do there? Like, that was nuts, guys. I think if they don't get a ton of downloads right after this, that would be, I would be very, very surprised. Now, I'm taking a look at the notes I have in front of me here. We're in the Ottawa Welshman ModCon studio right here. And I can see that there's a lot of people working on this. Fare, a Portuguese IT student, does most of the coding on this one, is a very prominent member. There's also, he worked on it almost a year. There's also, there's all kinds of people working on this, man. There's a whole team, almost too many people to name here. And man, are they working hard. The battles and the fact that it impacts your army in Crusader Kings is really, really interesting. The fact that when your general dies, he gets a negative trait, or depending on how many units die, different modifiers and impacts. What a crazy, crazy, crazy mod, and I think a lot of people should check us out. Now, we're almost at the moment we've all been waiting for. We're almost at the moment we've all been waiting for. The Game of Thrones trailer. Now, we've got a few house cleaning things to do before then, right? We've got 4 more keys to give away, I believe. So I'm not sure if the thing is still open, but I definitely do have the list in front of me, and we definitely can be spinning the big wheel of names here to give away keys for Crusader King. So let's get a display capture going. Let's get whatever. And here we go with the big wheel of names. Let's see. Let's center that bad boy. So we've got a whole lot of people. I think it's what is that? 286 people in here. So best of luck to everyone. We're giving away 4 keys now. That's a lot of names, dude. Deviant Equinox, thank you guys so much for joining. Congratulations on your key. You'll be getting a friend request from the organizer, Kaiser Harm, and we'll be going along with that. And you'll be getting your free key to either use or hand out to a friend and play some multiplayer with. So thank you very much, Paradox Interactive, for sponsoring the whole thing and giving us these keys. Hey, we got Spider 40K. Congratulations, bud. You're the proud winner of another key. Let's keep spinning here. I feel like I'm at the slot machine. This is awesome. Oh, and Odin takes it by a nose. People were so close. Odin, 9,600. Congratulations. And we got one more key, I do believe. Let's spin it here. And the winner of the last key. Food. Agnostos, congratulations. You guys have been the 4 winners. Congrats. So Harm will be messaging you guys very, very shortly to hand out your keys. Really, really exciting. And before he does that, though, I'd like to have him on, if you guys wouldn't mind. Would you guys mind having Harm and Uber on? I think it'd be nice to have him on for a moment. So let me get the Discord audio going. I don't know if this one's gonna work. Hello. I hope people can hear you. One sec. Doesn't look like it kicked in. Can you say something again? Oh, it's giving me some grief. I'm so sorry. Hold on a sec. I'd like to have you guys on just to thank you, really and truly, but it's not... Of course it's giving me grief right towards the end here, so we'll try it one more time, and then, if she doesn't go, but... Yeah, we've had a lot of technical issues, I think, so far this year's ModCon. Can you guys speak again? Maybe it'll work? Oh, it's killing me. It's not working. One sec. What about now? Anything?
Hello?
Yes, there we go. Hello, guys. So I'd like to introduce everyone to Harm. Say hello, Harm.
Hi, hello.
And Uber. Uber we'll be talking to shortly as well. Say hello, Uber.
Hey everyone. My name is Uber.
So these guys have put in so much effort. This is the final day of ModCon, the last day. Can we get some love for them in the chat? They put in so many hours of work here. So many hours helping out and putting it all together, doing the schedule. These guys are the real MVPs, putting the team on their backs. So thank you guys so much, really and truly. From the bottom of my heart as an organizer, thank you guys.
Thank you for hosting, honestly. Thank you for hosting. And honestly, Kaiser here has done a fantastic amount of work. An unbelievable amount of work also. I've helped where I could, but Kaiser has done so much.
Yeah, it really, about getting everybody, because I know gamers, we're not the most organized people, so getting everybody organized, getting everybody together, you did a really great job, Kaiser. Thank you guys thank you and both so much.
Thank you. I love doing it. I want to do it again, but I guess I can announce to everyone I'm not going to do it again if I'm still going to be the only person doing the most of the work. So if somebody wants to co-organize for next year, auditions are open.
We need more,
yeah. So next year's ModCon, we'll get everybody together. ModCon 4, we'll have some organizers, and it's gonna be great, guys. I'm very excited. But I'll let you go for now if that's all right, lads.
Yeah,
unless you have anything else to say. Uber, I'll call you back in a moment. And yeah,
no problem. Donate to Able Gamers.
Yeah, I'll mention Kaiser, before you go, how much did Paradox give us in donation to Able Gamers?
That'll be 6,200 American dollars.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, thank you so much, Kaiser. We'll give you a shout in a little bit. Thank you so much for hopping on a call. Thank you for organizing ModCon and making it all possible. The lads in chat are super happy, so thank you for that.
Thank you, and everyone, good. Hope you enjoyed the Game of Thrones trailer. I agree, it's amazing.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. All right. So, thank you. That was Kaiser. He's the main man, holding it all together. We got almost over 800 people here for the Game of Thrones chat. Thank you guys so much for joining. Now, I did get a bunch of donos in the last little bit. So, as you guys know, we're supporting Able Gamers, a charity that's this year's target for ModCon. Paradox Interactive so kindly provided us with 6,200 USD for the charity. They matched our donation from the previous 2 years. They gave us keys to drive hype for the event. Really and truly a huge thanks to Paradox. I'm gonna hope I get through all the donations here. I'm just scrolling back. I hope I didn't miss any. This anonymous guy keeps giving us money, so thank you, anonymous, big donor today. With 5 USD. Then we had CyberXCon, of course, one of the great modders, with $108. The big man on campus. Colin Sillybed, thank you so much, $5 as well. And then we had Arcade Luzion for a €5 donation, and more anonymous after that. You guys are so so great for donating. Thank you guys so much. This is an amazing event, and I personally am so proud to be a part of it. Now, we're just queuing some things up for the Game of Thrones mod. A huge trailer, a huge release. Oh, Florian with the 200 euros. Let's go, Florian. Thank you so much. That is massive. But yeah, we're just queuing things up for the final Game of Thrones trailer that's coming. You guys have all been waiting for it. I do have to call Uber and another modder on the Game of Thrones team to do the introduction. But before that, I gotta ask again. You know me, I gotta ask. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers on this channel. Please, 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 if you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. It's a huge help to me. You can unsubscribe next month. I don't care. I just gotta hit 100,000. It would be massive. So thank you guys so much. So let me get Uber in here, and he's gonna discuss and pre-roll the trailer. He's gonna pre-roll the trailer. He'll give you everything you need to know about it, and then the greatest announcement in Game of Thrones history coming right up. Do you hear that ringing? That's the sound of 2 Game of Thrones developers getting on the horn right now. We have Fox Willow and Uber with me. Thank you guys for joining.
Hello.
Hey.
So, you guys have been working real hard. I know last year there was some problems with the Game of Thrones release. People were upset. There was a lot of friction. What do you guys have in store for us this year?
Well, here, let me tell you. My name is Uber, and you might know me from across the Crusader Kings community, especially after the last 2 days, and I mean the panel that we just did a moment ago. I'm here acting in my capacity as co-implementation lead of a Game of Thrones, and I want to show you our AGOT panel for ModCon 2024. We have a few exciting things to share, as well as us doing some interviews to a bunch of different team members in a bunch of different departments, one by one. Such interviews like World Building's deep dive into some new Isosi cultures, which we added back in the 9 penny update, and much more. But to start my interviews today, I want to give you to my team lead developer, Fox Willow.
Alright, hey everyone, I'm Fox Willow. You should know me from babbling about some AGOT map work in Bravos about 2 hours ago. Actually, Uber, last ModCon, I seem to remember they didn't really seem to love us getting an important slot and then just interviewing each other. Let's just play the fucking video there, bud.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Let's hit it, boys. And here it is, the moment everybody's been waiting for. The Game of Thrones trailer.
Since the reign of King Aegon III, the Targaryen dynasty had been without its dragons. Many have since tried to bring them back to the world of the living. Some kings had mages and priests brought back from Essos to attempt rituals and spells. Others tried to emulate the noble qualities of a dragon instead. It would be untruthful to say that either methods proved fruitful. Aegon IV would be the next to attempt this dream, and he was planning a war fit for a dragon to win. He knew of the many failures of his predecessors and the methods they used. Aegon had another theory. In a moment of vast wisdom, the king decided to become a great patron, investing in one of the lucrative guilds in King's Landing, sitting at the bottom of Visenya's Hill, faced out and along the Street of the Sisters. Dressed in black marble was the Alchemist's Guild. When the king rewarded our guild with his blessed patronage, I was only a young apprentice, having devoted only months to mastering the craft. Days spent with the endless sounds of the mortar and pestle use, the air often filled with the blends of exotic herbs or the sharp scent of molten metals. Under the guidance of the Grand Master, I learned to manipulate elements into reactions, and reactions into smaller ignitions. When King Aegon summoned us to him to pay his patronage to the guild, he had only one request: to build him a dragon. We started experimenting immediately. Some sought to find the solution in the remaining dragon eggs. Others suggested the sciences of anatomy, researching old records and reports from the maesters and dragon keepers. A third group of the alchemists, the one I found myself working with, decided to instead try and replicate the power a dragon held within. After many weeks of toil and hardship, we had done it. One night, after a less than successful day, when all had left, I found myself holding a glass jar in hand. It was a liquid, made of a mixture of substances murky green in color. I discovered that if heated, it would burn as hot as fire from a dragon. Fickle it was also. Any spark or unexpected amount of heat could set it off, igniting it with explosive might. I stared into the liquid and the flames for what must have been hours at a time. I could have sworn once I saw the flames stare back at me. When I informed the rest of the guild and showed them what I had created, it left everyone in awe. This was it. This was the dragon that Aegon wanted. It didn't leave Aegon with any joy. It isn't what he wanted. Not yet, at least. What he had commissioned was a great dragon. The dragons he had been told of since he was young. The dragons he had been told of since he was of a young age. The dragons he read about in the books and the histories. This was no dragon. His dragons could breathe. His dragons could grow from a young age. His dragons he could ride and fly. His dragons could fly over the Blackwater Bay. He wanted a dragon like the Conqueror. A dragon to conquer lands. A dragon to make him famous. A dragon to dance with. A dragon to tame. A dragon to slay. A dragon to execute his enemies with. This was nothing of the sort.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. We've made it to the end of ModCon and the huge release this summer, Dragons, coming to Game of Thrones. And if you want to see content on it, I'll be covering it soon this week on my channel. Hit subscribe. You're going to love it. Thank you guys so much. We've raised so much money for Able Gamers. You guys have done an amazing job. I'm so happy to have you all here. Thank you guys so much. I love that trailer. It was phenomenal. Let's hear it in chat for the guys at AGOT. Let's get a W. Let's get an F. I don't know. Give me something. It's wonderful. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you to Harm for setting all this up. Thank you for everybody for participating. A quick last minute 20-pound dono from Tony. Thank you, Tony. And thank you guys so much for being here. This was huge. This was, I think, the greatest ModCon we've had yet. And what a great way to close this out. We're only 250. Oh, here we go. The donos are rolling in now. $5 from this anonymous guy. Amenes donated 50 euro. 20 Canadian from the Dino, my fellow Canadian. Morningstar, $5. Thank you guys so much. I gotta find the proper stream proper and see how close we are. I don't even know. I was relying on Uber. We're still off a little bit, but you guys did great work. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Did Aegon announce anything spicy? Bruh, like... oh, man. CK3 AGOT donated $178. Cecina donated 20 Ron. Sean, £5. Anonymous 20. Anonymous 50. Wow, guys, we hit 5,000. Unreal. Ryan with another 20. Ryan's donated a massive amount today. Thank you so much, guys. Everyone's done amazing, phenomenal. We've passed our 5,000 raised. So I believe that is over $10,000 we've raised for this charity. Huge for a small charity for able gamers. We've raised over $10,000 total with Paradox. Tuca with another $21. Just rubbing it in. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you so much for being a part of this stream. ILY AGOT, $21. Thank you. I think we've passed the total for the last 2 years, actually. We did a really phenomenal job. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. Thank you for being here from the beginning to the end. And I think it's time I bid you guys adieu. Thank you guys so much. Have a great evening wherever you are in the world. Another $20 from Anonymous. You guys are phenomenal. You gotta love the CK3 modding community. And if I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.